people. In honor of What the Fuck Tuesday, I'm wearing my WTF t-shirt, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Uh, I don't know how many of you saw on the community wall, but Candace sent me a text telling me, you're going to have 30 questions this time. This is the most ever. Every week it's been creeping up, creeping up, creeping up. And now it's up to 30. So y'all pray for me. See how I do. But since there's so many questions, please remember there's 30 questions. So when people come in and ask who get here late, how many questions do we have? You can tell them. 3-0. 3-0. I was complaining in the olden days. Hey, Shay. Remember the olden days when I used to complain about 12 or 15? I needed to shut my mouth. Okay, here we go. September 20th, 2022. What the Fuck Tuesday, a relationship advice show with 30 questions in it. So y'all, I hope you have your yeah, I think it's too much too, but she's being really mean to me for some reason. 25 to me was plenty. But let's see how I do. It might go fast. I mean, maybe a lot of them are short. So I'm not going to prejudge. Anyway, female 22 to 27. She's Latina from San Antonio, Texas. And the male in question is 22 to 27, and he is Caucasian. Interesting. My boyfriend keeps making gender negative comments, and I don't like it. Would it be stupid of me to continue this relationship? I know that this is a personal decision that you can't make for me, but I would love to hear your and the squad's opinions. I have been with my boyfriend for 4 months, and I know that he has been hurt a lot in the past, but that is no excuse for keep saying the things that he says. He keeps saying that a lot of women just want a man with money, but then he says things like, but you are not like other women. You are smart and mature. Today he was driving me home, and I was telling him that my parents gave my sister a car, and he said an awful comment that he doesn't want to have daughters because they are spoiled, and was so upset that I told him that men can also be spoiled. And I think he saw that I had just hit my limit and promised not to say anything like that again. I'm at the point where I'm considering ending things because my father is also sexist, and I grew up hearing things like that in a very male-centered Ecuadorian culture. Am I overreacting? I don't think so. I don't think you are, because as a man speaketh, so is he. So a man who didn't think all these negative things about women would not say them. And the second point is where he's talking about, well, you're like you setting your side to be different. That's a setup. That's game. I mean, he sounds kind of corny, like he probably doesn't even know that it's game, but still that is, because the intent in telling you something like that is to try to get you to do the opposite of what he's complaining about, so that you prove to him that you're not like those other women. You're not like the women he's complaining about. Instead, what you're supposed to do is up the ante and be in his pocket knee deep. Every time you see him, you need something. Every time you turn around, you want some money. Every time he picks you up, you tell him about somewhere you need to go, and he's going to pay for it. That's what you do. And then you break up with him. But first, you got to like break him of this habit of thinking that you're going to be so different and all this kind of stuff. He's like, pussy costs money, bottom line. And, if he's getting some, then he needs to be unasking some money. Nothing, even stuff, the products that women use to stay all fresh and dainty after interactions with men cost money. So I don't know what these dudes are thinking. Like, are they supposed to just do everything for free? No. So you don't fall for this, but I'm telling you, don't break up with him yet. Let's just do what I said and see what he does with it. Because he's talking about, he don't want to have daughters because they're spoiled. Your children are only spoiled if you allow them to be. That's the number one. But just like you pointed out, like in the black community, there's more spoiled men than there are like women. Like 25 to 1, the males are spoiled by their mothers. So I'm not really sure where he's getting that from. It sounds like some of that red pill nonsense. But one thing about him for sure is you don't need to be bothered with anybody like this. But test him first, because he said he's not gonna say nothing like that again. That doesn't gonna change his mindset. But make him take you out, make him spend some money, and then whatever he says, complains about after that, then dump him. Because no man who's sleeping with a woman should be complaining about spending money on her. That's just how it is. Okay, you don't want to spend no money? Then be single. Go over there in the corner, down by in the basement of your parents' house, by your damn self. Because you got a girl, it's gonna cost you some money. You got kids, it's gonna cost you some money. You have a life, it's gonna cost you some money. The only way a man is going to get out of spending any money is if he stays all by himself. But you even see them with their male buddies. They go out and, oh man, let me get around. They don't be complaining about that and be volunteering. So I don't understand what all this angst is about taking a woman out. They just be playing y'all. This guy is stupid. I would be so deep in his pocket if you making a statement like that. I need everything. Everything I see, I need it, I want it. And you gonna get it. Clown. Question number 2, female, 22 to 27. He's a Gemini. She's a Gemini, rather. She's white from Milwaukee, and her male is 22 to 27 and an Aries. I need ideas for how to ask my boyfriend to be more hygienic without hurting his feelings. I don't have any. I'm going to tell you that right now, but let's hear his story. We've been dating for 9 or so months. Sometimes it really bothers me that at 24 years of age, he doesn't shower at least once a day and at best brushes his teeth once a day. Deb, sometimes he'll even go an entire day and a half without brushing his teeth. He doesn't seem to have an issue with this. To be honest, it's a turnoff when he tries to kiss me and I can immediately smell his breath. I don't want to hurt his feelings, but it's something that doesn't seem to bother him. Whereas I brush my teeth twice a day and shower once a day at least. I don't want to have eggplant with him, let alone kiss him if he gets home from work 12 plus hour shifts without showering or brushing his teeth. Am I a bad person? How can I talk to him about this? Oh, okay. You got some yuck mouth boyfriend with who knows what kind of bacteria is growing in his mouth. Because, he's eating and doing whatever all day and then he's not swimming out his mouth. The mouth is the nastiest place on the human body. People, if somebody bites you, you could get an infection and have your arm rotten and falling off. It's human bites are gross because of the bacteria that is just in the mouth. Um, I'm gonna say this: there's no way around this without hurting his feelings. So, and what you're gonna have to do is to everything that you've been doing hasn't worked. So you see what I mean? You've tried the don't hurt his feelings way, and saying no, and also you've done that, and it hasn't worked, right? So now you have to come harder. So when he comes at you and he says, he wants to try to get busy, you can say, I'm not doing nothing with you. You smell, you stink, and your mouth is fucked up. You got stuff growing on your gums. Don't touch me. Don't try to kiss me, nothing until you clean up and use some Listerine on your nasty mouth. You're gross and disgusting. Who do you think wants to be, you'd have you touching them? You just disgust me. I can't believe that you're 24 years old and you don't know that you need to wash your ass. Now, that's if it were me, that's what I would say to him. So I'm not understanding why you being so patient. I could not have a man like this around me. I mean, I had a dude who he was a mechanic, and he knew to come in the house and get his in the bathtub, scrub his nails, scrub his hands, scrub his arms, just wash everything because he smelled like diesel fumes or whatever. And so, I mean, I don't understand why your dude think he's gonna work a 12-hour shift. This guy only worked an 8-hour shift. He gonna work 12 hours and come in all funky from 12 hours of sweating and think he's just supposed to get busy without washing his ass. Girl. Well, you use the Listerine in addition to brushing, not instead of. Okay. Nobody said that. I said brush his teeth and use Listerine. I was very clear. So he needs to, she needs to you stop trying to pussyfoot around this and just be direct and tell him that he stinks. He's disgusting. He smells like a zoo animal, stuff like that. Question number 3, male, 28 to 34. He's white and he's a Gemini from Durham, North Carolina. The woman he's writing about is also 28 to 34, and she is a Scorpio. Hi, Miss Cooper. I'm hoping you can give me a favorable solution because I have messed up my life big time. 2 years ago, I broke up with my long-term girlfriend of 7 years who I really loved and still love because I changed my mind about having kids. However, after a few years, I stupidly changed my mind about wanting to be a father. Watching my friends and coworkers with their cute kids made me envious, so I changed my mind, hoping she would be on board. I let her know how I felt, but she told me she was adamantly child-free, and although she did not want to lose me, having kids was a deal breaker, and she was willing to part ways so I could have my family. As bad as it hurt, I left her immediately met a nice woman who did want kids and got together with her. Now I'm father to a 9-month-old baby boy, and I'm completely miserable. He is a sickly and needy child. I'm sorry, this is funny. He is a sickly and needy child who cries all the time, and I can't stand it. I don't want this relationship, this child, or this life anymore. I know I'll sound like a complete and heartless asshole, but that is the truth. I can't stop thinking about my ex and desperately want her back. I follow her social media and see her with a new guy living her best child free life, and I want that back. I hate being a father. I am willing to give up my parental rights and pay child support if my ex will agree to take me back. Your advice on my actions and situation would be greatly appreciated, even if you ream me to Mars. Thank you again, Miss Cooper. Oh my God. Okay. Obviously, you know which direction this is going to go. I'm going to say this before you jump ship, because the kid is screaming and all of that for a reason. Okay. It's not normal for little kids to be that sickly and stuff. Something's wrong. I would suggest investigating whatever it is that he's eating. Sometimes children have food allergies. So whatever you guys are feeding him, there's something that you've given him that's irritating his system and is making him have an allergic reaction, which is showing up as illness. Probably a lot of mucus buildup and all kind of stuff. Are you giving him cow's milk? Stop. They have different kinds of formulas. Some of us made with soy, some of us made these plant-based milks and all this kind of stuff, but it's still fortified, like rice milk or something like that. And then at 9 months, he can be eating some food. But you got to, again, follow doctor's orders and guidelines about what you feed them. You shouldn't be giving little kids wheat, for example. No nuts, no nothing like that. Tomatoes and stuff like that that causes a lot of allergies in children. They have to eat pretty much a kind of a bland diet for them. But I'm thinking that's the source of the child's sickliness is you guys are feeding the kid something. The other thing to check out is your home. Do you have pets? The child might be allergic to the pets. Get rid of the pets. Okay? Get rid of the pets, not the kid. The kid didn't ask to be here. You wanted that. Now you're trying to dip out on it, talking about you change your mind and you want that back. It's too late. She's not going to take you back. What woman, okay, think about this from her perspective. You want to abandon the family that you left her for to have. She is going to think so lowly of you. You need to keep this a secret. Don't you ever tell her this. She's never going to respect you. She's not going to take you back. She's going to think that she dodged a bullet because you're a cretin. That's what she's going to think. No woman with good sense would ever take a man back under this kind of circumstances. She would hate you for how you're doing that child that you begged everybody that you wanted to have. You made your bed. Now you got to lie now because you don't get to just not be a daddy and just sign away your parental rights. The only way the courts allow that is if there's someone else willing to assume those responsibilities. So, for instance, say she met somebody else and he wanted to adopt the child. Well, then you could sign away your parental rights to this man and then he would just adopt the kid and assume them. Or her father, grandparent, or I don't know, her older brother or uncle. It has to be somebody who's willing to go to court and legally assume that responsibility for the child that you made. You don't just get to sign it away and just leave the kid in the wind. That's not how this works. You're going to still pay child support. You can have visitation, but you don't have to exercise it, but you're going to still have to pay. So you're not going to get out of nothing unless somebody else steps up. So, but I'm thinking this woman, she had enough wherewithal to know that she shouldn't stand in the way of you being a father. I really don't understand how you think she would want you back under these circumstances. She's not going to want you. She's doing her thing with somebody new. The only thing you can do is if you decide you don't want to be bothered with all this is, get a divorce or whatever they do. And then you only have to have a kid, on alternate weekends or something like that. But I'm really thinking that what you're feeding the child, what the child's eating or drinking is the source of this sickliness. Find out what those things are that are making the child sick, eliminate them from the child's diet, and you will have a happy, healthy baby that you can enjoy. Okay, start there. This is y'all's responsibility as the parents. It's not the kid's responsibility to figure it out and tell you what's wrong. It's yours to stop giving it shit. The junk food and wheat products and crackers and all that kind of stuff that's making the baby sick. If everybody's system can't tolerate that kind of stuff. I don't eat bread. Unless it's some keto bread made with, make it with cheese or something. No wheat flour. I can't do it. It makes my stomach cramp up. Can't eat that stuff at all. I can't eat soy. That's why I had to give up veganism, the vegan plant-based diet, because you eat plant substitutes. I mean, meat substitutes, and you can make them. I used to make these like unchicken nugget things that were just screaming. I developed a fabulous recipe for it, but it's made out of vital wheat gluten. Had to get that up too. So there's certain things you just develop allergies to it, and then you can't eat that anymore. And I'm thinking that's what's wrong with the baby. Question number 3, male, 28 to 34. He's white. I'm sorry, that's the one I just read. Number 4, male, 22 to 27 from Portland, Oregon. My girlfriend, my now ex-girlfriend that is, didn't believe that my wedding proposal was real, and she broke up with me. I feel like such a fool. First of all, I want to say that I regret living my life as a prankster in the past. I used to play pranks on everyone, including my family members, and on her too. So fucking immature. Well, 2 years ago, out of the many pranks I played on her was a surprise marriage proposal prank with a fake cheap ring. I know you're probably going to say that I'm one of the most horrible persons ever. You're right. Not only horrible, but stupid. That's something you don't play with. You idiot. She got really hurt. We almost broke up, and that was the end of my pranking days. I haven't played another prank even once. Since I told her that the second time would be for real and have been trying to make it up to her ever since. Well, yesterday it was for real, but she didn't believe me. She got upset, said it's over for pranking about it again, and didn't let me explain it was real. She got in her car and drove away, and I couldn't catch up to her. I can't even call her. She unfriended and blocked me on social media. The only way for me to talk to her is to go to her house. I'm really sorry for what I did before in the past 2 years ago. Will I win her back? I can show her it's for real this time. Any suggestions? You're so stupid. You're so stupid. You're so stupid. Who raised this boy? Who knows? That's the kind of stuff, they pick that stuff up. It doesn't even matter what you raise your kids. Now, come on now. What you teach your children at home is only a small part of the parcel. Some kids are more influenced by their peers and social media than they ever would be their parents. Those are the kids that you have to watch like a hawk because your kid is stupid. Your kid has some kind of need to get validation from outside him or herself. And when you have a child like that, you got to watch him like a hawk because your kid is just stupid and going to do all kind of stupid stuff and get in stupid situations with other stupid people. So in this case, what the parents as do, they could have done a bang up job, but for some reason, pranking is something that he got some ego boost or some kind of acknowledgement for, something he felt benefited him. That's why he kept doing it. You see what I mean? We don't do stuff that doesn't bring us some kind of benefit, some kind of pleasure, some kind of reward. We keep doing that thing because we're stupid and we just like that feeling. So people chase that feeling. And it doesn't matter the detriment that they're doing to themselves, their relationships, their family, friends. They going after that feeling, and that's what he has here. But he did it one time too many, and it caught up with him, and so then he decided, well, maybe this isn't really such a good idea because the reward that I thought I was going to get for doing this did not come, and instead it almost hung me. So he put that down. But see, again, we're not going to blame what grown men do on their parents. We don't do that here. I know that's one of the favorite things you all like to do is like, well, who raised these people and these boys, this and that, blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah. Like I said, you could be the best mama in the world, best parent in the world, best daddy in the world, and your son still ends up in prison, San Quentin, because they did something stupid that you did not teach them to do because they were weak and susceptible to peer pressure. They wanted at that moment being accepted and acknowledged and whatever by their friends or whoever they were with was more important than all the values, morals, and life lessons that you taught them at home. Remember that. Okay, they are grown. They make decisions, and there's decisions where sometimes have some severe consequences. But there's nothing that you can do about that as the parents, and that is their choice. Okay. So back to this guy, young man. The only thing I think, if I were you, man, you just so stupid. I just can't believe it. You can look online and find you somebody who, like plays the guitar or something. and can sing a love song, some song that she likes, a love song, and you're gonna go to her house in the front of her house and you're gonna serenade her, to have a dude serenade her. Then you have your speech prepared. So when she looks out the window, she's gonna see you down on one knee holding your ring, saying, "Baby, I was telling you the truth." Yeah, what's that group? After Seven had a song called "Baby, I'm for Real." You might maybe look into that. But yeah, he just, and then you can never, ever, ever do anything like this again if she takes you back. But you never know. I mean, you hurt her so bad the first time and she gave you another chance, and then I'm trying to figure out, well, you didn't say anything about how you proposed. See, that would have been important information. What did you do? Did you make it an event? That's what you should have done to make sure, well, she took it seriously, done something in front of her family after you talked to her parents and figured out what you was going to say, and to do the old fashioned asking for her hand thing, so she could always go back to them crying about it, and they could have told her, no, he asked us for your hand in marriage. It was serious. What are you doing, daughter? You fucked up. So you would have had some allies. But you didn't seek out my counsel beforehand, and so you did something dumb, and now this is the consequences. But if I were you, that's what I would do. I'd make some kind of grand gesture like that. Some, I don't know, playing the guitar, playing the harmonic, something. You do something to be out there, and then say what I got to say, with the music playing in the background after that person sings their song, and then you do that, so even her family will hear it. Even if she's not home, they'll hear it. They can tell her about it. What an idiot, dude. You don't joke about stuff like that, about people, something that's going to change their life like that. You don't mess around with that. I don't know what you were thinking. I'm still stuck on that part. How did you arrive that would be the ideal prank to play on somebody, messing with their mind and heart like that? She's good, because I would have broken with you on the spot the first time. Question number 5. This is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group from Carmel, Indiana, writing about a female in the 18 to 21 age group. My girlfriend lied to me about her past because she was scared that I would break up with her. And now that she told me the truth, we are having some problems. This is what happened. I met and started dating my girlfriend pretty much right after she turned 19. We've been dating for almost 4 months now. I am 22. She is the third girl that I've been with, which I told her when we started dating. Being only 19, I didn't expect her to have been all that experienced herself, and she proceeded to tell me that she had been with less than 10 guys, but didn't want to tell me the exact number for some reason. Okay, as an aside, you're an idiot for even asking that question. What she did before you came along is none of your damn business. And that's what she should have told you. And you want to be volunteering information about it. You're dumb too. I was fine with that until recently when we were talking about the topic again, and she told me that she hadn't been truthful and that she actually had been with closer to 25 guys, but that she had lost count. Oh, girlfriend was a little busy. What happened? She told me that the reason why she didn't tell me the truth originally was because she was scared that if I heard the real number, that I would have broken up with her. We're at the point where I really enjoy our relationship, and it has been amazing dating her so far. However, I can't get over the fact that she deliberately lied to me in order to keep me around. I feel like I can no longer trust what she says and have contemplated breaking up with her over it. She also told me that almost all of these hookups, around 18 or so, happened in a 2 to 3 month period after her first ex broke up with her when she turned 18, and because she was looking for someone to love her. It's been a hard pill to swallow, but I understand the past is the past, and I don't want to have to break up with her over it. I really just need some advice on how I can stop thinking about this and focus on moving forward and rebuilding the trust rather, in our relationship. I'm going to say this. You don't have the maturity to be going around asking that question. The fact that just by the fact that now that you heard that, you just having all kind of problems with it. I don't think it's the fact that she lied about it. I think it's the fact that the number's so high, much higher than yours. So you feeling some kind of way about it. I'm going to say this. Whatever happened to her in the past is what made her the person that she is. She acknowledged that she was looking for something and was feeling all rejected and dejected and had self-esteem attacks and all that stuff. And so she was looking for it by having men, she felt wanted. That's what she was looking for. She felt like somebody wanted her, that she was good enough, that these people, would pay attention to her and all that kind of stuff. A lot of young girls go through that. So, my thing is, like I always tell young people, shut up. You never have that conversation. As long as y'all test out healthy, that's all you worry about. You don't worry about who's been there before you. And young ladies, I'm gonna say this for the 950th time, if not more. If a man is stupid enough to ask you that question, there's a video on this channel about this. You tell him, I don't discuss the past. I worry about the future. I focus on the future. What do you need to know what other men did for? How's that going to help us in this relationship? And you ask him that, and he goes, "Well, I just want to know." Well, you people, I'm sure, want to know all kind of stuff. That's why they go to psychics, but they don't know get a truthful answer. And I'm not going to tell you either because it's none of your business. Now, if that's a problem for you, there's a door you can hit it. But this is a conversation that we're never going to have. I'm never going to ask you your number, and I don't want you asking me. And that's how I roll. I don't care. I've never cared about that. I want to know, make sure you don't have no transmittable whatever. And the second thing is, you don't have no crazy women thinking that they in a relationship with you that's going to be coming after me. And the third thing is that you at least know what you're doing when we hit them sheets. If you had to have a lot of practice to get it right, there you go. Some people have practice with different people. Some people stay in a long-term relationship and get all the practice with one person. So, there's no real school number or hard cold fact on that situation. It just depends. So, that's what I have to say on that. So as you go through life, you're very young. Don't you ever ask a woman that again, and don't you ever volunteer that information if she asks you. You shut that shit down. And you say we're not going to focus on the past. We're going to focus on the here, now, and the future, because that's what we got. That's our time together starts now. So let's talk about that, and that's what you do. Question number 6: young men in the 18 to 21 age group from San Mateo, California. I need to know why girls you meet on dating apps will suddenly stop responding with no notice or warning. This has happened several times that I've been talking to a girl on a dating app, and it's been going well. But then, after texting for a couple of days, she just stops responding. This has happened several times with different girls. And I'm just wondering, why do they stop responding? Because you don't ever do shit. Who you think want to be in a text relationship with you for weeks at a time? Come the fuck on. You enjoying the girl, you supposed to ask her out, you dummy. You get it offline and off the app as soon as possible. That's what you do. So you want her to keep texting you for weeks, days and weeks and stuff. Nobody's gonna be doing all of that. You want to try to act like you're dating somebody by text. That's no. That's so immature. So you talk to a girl a day, 2, 3 days, whatever, then you ask her out. Well, let's meet. If she says no, then you block her. If she just playing on the phone. But if she really is interested in you, then you two meet up and see what you got going on. You can't really tell anybody's personality and stuff through text. You have to see people and read their body language. Do they match up with their picture that's online? Does it match up with who walks in the door? What's their conversation like? Some people cannot hold a conversation. All they can do is text. These are things that you need to know, but in order to know that, you have to take the relationship offline as soon as possible. So I'm sure that's some of it. And look over here in the chat, because I don't do the dating apps. I call them the swipey things. I don't mess around. So you look over here with some of the ladies who do and see if they have any tips for why they would stop communicating with a guy. But what just jumps out at me is that you just want to text people to death, and they're not trying to be bothered with all of that. So you look over there and see what they say. Question number 7, female 22 to 27 from London in the UK. This sounds silly now that I'm writing it out, but I still appreciate opinions and advice if I'm right to think that he's not interested in me. I'm a single mom, and not actively dating as I don't really have the time, but I was speaking to this bloke on a dating app, and after me telling him that I'm a single mom of one, him has with no kids, he immediately wrote back saying, we'll just do a child-friendly first date. Fast forward, we've still spoken every day since then, beginning of August, but we've only been out once. And after we initially met, he said he was weighing it up because children are a lot to take on. Duh, that's why I mentioned it. We have seen each other since, but he only comes over in the evening on a weekend. One of the days, usually he'll then buy us dinner, but it always ends with eggplant. Do you think I'm right to be thinking if he's only wanting to see me occasionally, he doesn't really think anything will come of it? This is just a short-term fling. Also worth mentioning, I took a few days holiday where my LO, I don't know what that is, stayed with our grandparents, stayed with grandparents, and the same thing again. He came over in the evening, ordered Chinese, watched a film, eggplant, and that was it. No intention of doing anything together for the rest of the weekend. Opinions welcome. Thank you in advance, Deb, Candace, Shay, and ladies of the squad. You know she watches because she know everybody's name. I'm gonna say this: if he does this, it's because you let him do it. I don't know why you complaining. All you have to do is tell him that's not how it's gonna roll. If you want to see me, we need to go out. You know, he might be thinking that maybe you don't want the expense or consideration of a babysitter. I mean, that might be some of it. You know what I mean? Because it does get expensive. That could be a partial consideration. But as far as him, this is all you guys do. You never go out. Then yeah, I think I'm right. He just, it's just convenient. You got to remember, I don't know what they do in London, but here in the United States, a lot of guys will try to date single mothers because they know you can't go nowhere, and it's just that you're lonely and you're tired because you're raising a kid by yourself and all that good old stuff. So they see you as a perfectly available victim, a target for them to use for eggplant. And then they can always use your kids or being a assuming the responsibility for somebody's child as the deterrent. Even though they picked you, knowing full well that you had the kid. You see where I'm going with this? So, but they want to use that as an excuse why it can't be anything more than just what it is, just playing around using you for a bed buddy. So what you have to do is just tell him, I'm not really satisfied with this. If we're going to be seeing each other, we need to see each other like adults, and you need to take me out. If you don't want to take me out, then let's end this. And then that's what you do. Because it's right now it's not meeting your needs and you're feeling used. You don't want to do this, especially something you don't want to do around your kid. And I don't like those days when you first meeting somebody and they want you to bring your kid. You shouldn't have fell for that shit either. Because then they be trying to, especially these dudes, a lot of these dudes, I mean, they only want to date a single mother so they can have access to your kids. Let me just be blunt. They have nefarious motivations for getting with a woman that has a child or two or three. So it could be that he looked at your kid and your kid didn't meet his criteria. Wrong gender, wrong age. Your kid didn't turn him on. That's what I'm saying. So he's just gonna see you when he sees you. There's still some benefit to it, but what he really was looking for, you don't offer. So there's that to consider too. I know people tell me that my mind is weird, but I'm telling you that I've seen this happen way too much. And a lot of these dudes prey on single mothers because they know that they will have access to your kids easier because you're going to trust them and let them babysit and let them spend the night and be all over your kid all the time and take your kids places and be alone with your child. They know this. So they will seek you out. So I'm telling you, you better get this together, lady. I'm telling you, that's how it happens, though. There would be no reason to have a first date with a man and he tells you to let's have a child friendly first date. You don't even know if you like him yet, and here you are dragging along your kid. What do you think that was for? I mean, let's use your thinking caps here. People tell me that I be thinking some crazy stuff. I'm not thinking crazy stuff. I think. Most women don't. You all go on what you feel instead of thinking about why is this happening. No man who is trying to meet an adult woman should want to meet her kid at the same time that he's meeting her. That never crossed your mind that that's a problem? I'm telling you, I'm thinking I'm right. He met your kid, and your kid was not what his target. He's not the right age, the right look, the right gender, something. And so there you go. He started backing off from you. I'm very rarely wrong. Okay. I go by the gut feeling, the energy that I get from these letters before I give a response. Sometimes it may seem like it's coming out of left field, but that's the feeling I'm getting from this guy, this energy that's coming through. You dodged the bullet. Just get rid of this motherfucker. Just get rid of him. Question number 8, female, 18 to 21. She's black from Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, God. I went on a really good date with someone. We're both 19, by the way. And I'm wondering if what happened is a red flag or not. So we went out and everything went really well. I'm a bit on the bigger side. That's not a huge issue, though. All of my pictures on my profile are recent. And I feel like if someone can't handle that, then it's just not meant to be. After our date, the guy came out and told me that he has a belly fetish. I was a bit lost at first because I feel as though a lot of men like stomachs. But as I asked more questions trying to understand it, he said he finds bellies and fupas attractive. It came off a bit weird, but I don't want to stop talking to him over something that isn't actually a problem. Would you say this is a red flag or not? I don't do fetishes. I'm sorry. It just turns me off. I don't want tell him. You're gonna tell me some shit like that on the first date. That you like it, and that's probably why you chose me because you think that you're gonna get to be playing in my fupa and my belly fat. No, no. I mean, it might be okay for you, because there's these guys find women all the time that go along with this stuff. But you writing to me asking me my opinion, and my opinion is I would dump him because I wouldn't want a man that's strictly focused on one part of my anatomy as being his sole reason for wanting to be with me. You see where I'm going with this? For him to tell you that means this is to keep focus. It's right up there. That's why he felt so free to tell you. And they know a lot of heavy women are lonely for companionship because, it's not a lot of men's ideal body type and all this kind of stuff. So usually they're seen as, more easier prey. You don't have to do as much. Women are more willing to be with them, even if some really odd circumstances surround the guy. Like he just got out of prison last week and stuff like that. So, this is strictly going to be on you. I mean, how do you feel about somebody saying something like that to me? To me, it would be a turnoff. Like I said, I don't do fetishes in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. No. But if it's okay with you, then that's on you. So for me, the answer to your question, for me, it would be a red flag. For some women, it would not be. It just depends on your mentality and what kind of stuff you want to put up with. And, maybe that's a sensitive part of your body and you might like it. I don't know what to say here. I just know it wouldn't work for me. Yeah. He said the date went well, so I don't know. Hey, Shay. Oh, yeah, we're doing a show on Sunday. Let me do it. Let me do a brief interruption and do a commercial break. Where's that thing? Right here. This is a show we're going to do on Sunday. Our Sunday sermon making a resurface now that I have a little more energy. So we'll be on a show on Sunday. We got the DNN either Friday or Saturday night, depending on how I feel after therapy. I don't know yet. And then on Sunday for sure, we're going to have the Sunday sermon. This is something that Vanna sent me. And I've been trying to do this show for a month. But it's finally take place on Sunday. So hope you hit that subscribe button, hit the instant notification bell too, so you get a reminder that when we start to show up, you get a reminder on your phone that the conversation has begun. Okay, so don't miss it. It should be interesting. So question number 9, this is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's Asian, a Virgo from Scottsdale, Arizona. The male in question is 22 to 27, and he's a Taurus, and he is white. Okay, this is interesting. I believe that my husband may still be in love with his ex-girlfriend. When we met, he was still recovering from that relationship and would bring her up frequently. He would always talk negatively about her, and according to him, she had dumped him pretty brutally. He said that she was mean and awful and that he hated her, but I always felt that he would get this wistful, shell-shocked look in his eyes whenever he spoke about her. I confronted him with my suspicions early on, and he denied having feelings for her, but I always had this suspicion wiggling away in the back of my mind. I actually think it made me more competitive toward him as a result, like I have to win if I got to be the one that he married. If it matters, both of them are white. I am Eastern Asian. She is also very traditionally attractive and is the kind of girl that would get a lot of attention from men and he has brought up her looks. Well, he has brought up her getting looks from men, but always portrayed it as a negative, like she was shallow and he didn't like it. But he was extremely overly emotional on our wedding day to the point of crying. Excuse me. I've been sneezing a lot lately. I think it's allergy. To the point of crying and tearing up during random events. Some of this, his wedding party slash friends brought up his ex in a look how far you've come kind of way, and he had this sad, funny look on his face. On your wedding day, I pay for most of our shared expenses and earn more than him and do a lot for him in terms of cleaning, cooking, etc. I would love to know your input about what to do. This feeling is eating away at me. Girl, why didn't you write me before you got married? So you making more money than him. I don't know. Is Arizona community property state? I don't know. But now you're gonna be on the hook. You're gonna have to pay him some alimony or something as long as you stay married to this clown. So you don't say how long it is, how long you've been married, but you might want to dip out quick sooner rather than later. In the future, when you have a feeling about something like this, pay attention to it and dip out from the relationship. Nothing, this expressions that he had and the fact that he's always bringing up this woman. On this channel, I have a video called when he's always talking about some other woman. Okay, this is it. When they, because you only talk about what you be thinking about. So the fact that your man sitting up there thinking about some other bitch and then talking to you about it, that was your major sign right there that he wasn't into you. You was a rebound. Okay, then you want to be competitive and trying to win the booby prize? What's wrong with you? You never compete for a man, ever, ever, never, never. That's when you don't do that. Either they come after you with 100% energy, or you leave them alone. You should never chase a man. You never call a man first. You never text a man first. You don't go to his house first. You don't buy him a gift first. You don't tell him I love you first. You don't do nothing. That has to come from him. There's so few opportunities for men to prove themselves to be men these days. Every single time, every opportunity that they deserve to have, you sit your ass down and you let them do it. Okay? You take stuff away, you little forward chicks, and you take stuff away from men, and then you wonder why he don't feel very good about being in a relationship with you. Well, you took everything away. You played your role as a woman and his as a man too. You did that to yourself. Talking about, I just want to be forward. I just want to go after what I want. You do that in your career. You don't do that with men. He either has to want you and be into you, or he's not. And you'll never have that feeling if you have to chase after him and compete for him. So that's part of what you're feeling right now, because he didn't really come after you the way he was supposed to. Not with his full energy, not with his full effort. I would say he was still recovering. You said when you met him, he was still recovering from that relationship and would bring her up frequently. Okay, so that should have told you right there that he wasn't ready. And you could have dated him, but you should have dated other people too, to keep your options open, not just focus on him. So you made a lot of mistakes here that I hope you learn from. And the number one thing is, if you with any man, and he starts talking to you about some other bitch, I don't even give a fuck with his mother. He want to talk about his mama all the damn time instead of talking about y'all's relationship and you. Get rid of him, okay? Because he's not going to be invested in you emotionally the way that you need to for your security, mental and emotional security. He's not into you like that. You something to do. You a good time. You meet some of his base needs. He's like, he's happy you there because you make him feel better. You give him stuff. But is he really invested in you? The answer to that question is no. So you don't invest in him. Nothing. You cooking and cleaning and paying for all the bills and shit. What use is this fool? Consult an attorney and get the fuck out of this marriage. And don't do anything stupid like this again in Scottsdale, Arizona. Scottsdale's a nice spot. It's a nice area. I went through there on my way back from Texas. Wrecked my brand new car in the crosswalk. I hadn't had that car a week. And the car was wrecked. I was like, fuck. But anyway, that's where you go. Question number 10. Female, 42 to 49. She's African American from Charleston, South Carolina. My daughter's moving out in a week, and I feel some kind of way about it. I can't help feeling like I failed her before she goes. She told us last Christmas that she was moving out in September of 2020, and it's finally here. 2022 rather. And it's finally here. She'll be moving out next week. Yep, it's only 90 minutes away. Yes, I know she's grown and the time has come, but it still hurts like hell. Every time I see the boxes in her room, I want to cry. I do cry. And I know this is most likely incredibly late, but I can't but help to feel regret about some of my parenting decisions in the past. I watch your videos on parenting and listen to you chastise other parents for coddling their children. And after a lot of reading and reflection, I think I've been too protective of my daughter over the years. This will be the first time that she stayed away from home at all, and now her first time will be forever. When she was a kid, I always said no to sleepovers. Predators are often ones you end up trusting, and sending my child off to essentially a stranger's house never felt safe. I pretty much had this rule even when she turned 18 and after. In my view, the levels of safety didn't change just because her age did. When her school had overnight trips, either I or my sister went with her on them. She hasn't had any opportunities for travel as late, but we did this until she was into her 20s. Part of this was financially motivated, but she went to a college close to home so she could live at home during. Otherwise, we would have moved with her if she went to an out-of-state college. Oh my God, you was just doing too much. We didn't allow her to date in high school. Probably had too many rules for her in college. Now she hasn't had a boyfriend yet, which I'm a bit thankful for since we got to skip that whole messy world while she was here. But all that to say, she is going into the world at 26 and starting it all for herself. I can't protect her anymore. I know I meant to step away, but now she's going into the world full frontal all at once. It's hitting me hard, the fear, the anxiety, the sadness. You spend 26 years protecting someone since they were in your arms and now they're gone. It's hard to step back and let go. Do you have any words of wisdom for me? Oh, I'm gonna say this. You're right. You were overprotective. You should have been letting her have independence and do stuff a little bit at a time as she was growing up. Then you would both be used to it. But you put the girl in a choke chain, and so now she's finally feeling like she's free, gonna be free of you. So you're looking at it like, oh no, my baby's leaving, I'm all choked up, and she's looking like, hallelujah, I'm finally free from this cow choking the life out of me. You see the difference in perspective here. Your child didn't get to have a normal life because you was just too much up in it. Helicopter parenting, the worst kind of parent there is. We have a video on that on the channel. You might want to try to search that up and take a look at helicopter parenting and look at the damage that those types of parents do to their children. They never get to make mistakes. They never get to make decisions on their own. They never get to make choices of their own. They never have to deal with any repercussions because you basically script their life. You tell them everything to do. And then for you to want to move to go to college with her to the place where don't you know kids go to out of state college to get away from their parents, not to bring their parents with them? You tripping, girlfriend. All I can tell you this is what you're gonna do because you want to leave your daughter feeling okay about it. But she might not care that you're not okay about it. But let's just say that she does have her own little feelings about it. What you're gonna have to do is talk to her and say, look, I admit that I'm feeling a little anxious. That's the word you're going to use, a little anxious about you, going away and doing whatever. But I want you to know that you always have a place to stay if stuff starts happening. If you need me, call me. I'm going to leave you alone, let you be the adult person that you are. I trust that you'll make good decisions. We raised you to do that. Blah, blah, blah. You want to compliment her and build up her self-esteem and make her feel like she can do this. Okay, so you don't want to start talking about yourself. This is the time to build her up and make her feel confident that she's going to do well when she leaves the nest. So you're going to do that, and you say, but if any time that you have a problem, you want to run by me, something happens that you need a little understanding or some support, call. All you have to do is call or text me, and I'll be right there. Okay. And then you give her a hug and a kiss, and you let her go. Let her go, which is something you should have done 10 years ago. Okay. So don't be surprised if she keeps some space between you, and you're not going to hit her with guilt, and you're not going to cry and just make a big scene and try to manipulate her into feeling bad about leaving you all alone, and all these tricks that mothers use to try to guilt trip their kids to not want to leave the nest. You're not going to do any of that. You're going to tell her supportive, encouraging things. Tell her that she'll be successful. She'll take the world by storm. All that kind of stuff. That she's always been an intelligent, go-getter kind of focused child. Whatever else you can think of. And that's the time when you need to build your daughter up, because I'm sure she's nervous too. But it's something she knows she has to do, whether she wants to or not, whether you like it or not. So that's how you're going to handle it. Okay? Oh, my goodness. Question number 11, female 18 to 21, Pisces from Scottsdale, Arizona. Oh, we had two. Was this one lady from Scottsdale too? Let me just. Oh no, she was from Charleston. Sorry about that. I really need your help because I don't know what to do. I'm 21 now and have been single since 2 years. My last relationship was very toxic and it took me a long time to recover from it. For about 5 months, I've been ready to go on dates again and get involved with other people. My younger sister, quote, Sheila, is the first to know that I'm dating again. Quote, Sheila told me that she knew someone who would be perfect for me and that we should go on a date, a blind date, so to speak. She wanted to organize everything for both of us and told us where we would meet on which day. I get ready for the blind date and went to the agreed place, a cafe at the given time. Sheila said I should carry a white bag so my date will recognize me. I waited about 5 minutes and saw a very pretty woman enter the cafe. Of course, I didn't think anything of it at first, but when the woman looked around and then walked in my direction, I was very irritated. She sat down across from me and introduced herself. Hi, I'm Jana. You must be Audrey, right? How nice, you're my date. Then she smiled at me, and she had a really beautiful and very contagious smile. You ladies should know that I'm straight and have always been straight, and Sheila knows that too, which is why I was confused. I expected my date to be a man. Don't get me wrong, I'm not homophobic. I accept and support the alphabet, all that stuff, but I'm not into women. I had a nice talk with her though, and Sheila was right. We really have a lot in common. Jana is 22, a lesbian. She's interested in the same things, has the same hobbies, and we have similar tastes in music. She was really sweet and kind person. I explained to her that I'm not gay or bi and I'm straight. At first, I wanted to end the date, but she said that even though I'm not into women, we could still have a good time. And she was right. We enjoyed our cake and pumpkin latte, and then we went for a walk in the park. It was really nice walking around the park with her, talking and watching the leaves fall from the trees. Jana took me back to my apartment and we hugged goodbye. We exchanged numbers and have already arranged a next meeting. I told her again that I really like her as a person, but I'm not into women. She said, well, let's see what will become of us. I'm open to everything because I like you too. Then she kissed me on the cheek, and I think I blushed a bit. After that, she said goodbye, and when I think about her last sentence, my stomach warms up and I have to smile. Since I met this woman, I'm questioning if I'm straight or not. I don't want to give her false hopes, though, because even if we don't get together, I'd love to be friends with her. She is gorgeous, and her character is simply stunning. So basically, what this is saying is that your little sister knows you better than you know yourself. That's what it sounds like to me. Do you have to be, have like a romantic relationship with this woman? Absolutely not. You don't have to go there. But I just think it's interesting that your sister obviously knows you. She knows what kind of stuff you like and your hobbies and interests, and someone who would be a good companion for you. The person who's going to choose if this is more than just a companion is going to be you. You're going to decide that. Nobody else. I'm just going to say, I've had friends that are gay males, gay females. Someone was probably jumping the fence back and forth. I didn't really ask, but some of them I knew what they were, and it was fine. I mean, I don't, nobody ever pressed me to be anything or do anything or something, anything like that. Like one of my friends took me to a lesbian bar. Well, it was a gay bar. They had men in there too, but a lot of lesbians. She took me in there, and I was like, what? Because you have these stereotypes of lesbians looking like, I don't know, wearing like work boots and chains and no hair and you know, but they had what they call lipstick lesbians, which I had never heard of. She introduced me to that concept, and they just look regular. I mean, like with lashes in there, I mean, just they look just super girly, like right, just you just would never know. But they were into women, so I was like, wow. So that just totally like what, and this was years ago, way before it was real popular. Now I had to see this had to be, yeah, this was like in the late '80s. So things have changed considerably since then. So things are a lot more open. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna say. It was an interesting experience. I don't know. I didn't have a problem. I mean, we eventually stopped talking to each other and stuff because I like to move around. I move around all over the country, and phase and, finishing up school and going here and going there until I came back to California. But um, just see where it goes. It might be a whole new thing that you just never knew were. But the fact that she makes you feel so comfortable, that's what I'm tuning into. You're really comfortable with her. You admire and respect her. I mean, those are the kind of things that, people want to have in friends or companions. So you don't feel like you have to pressure yourself to be anything. Just enjoy the woman's companionship and then see what happens. You can always put on the brakes or you can always press the gas. It's solely and totally your decision. Okay. But don't beat yourself up about it. I would definitely talk to my sister though and say, okay, now how did you arrive at this? Because I would want to know what her thinking processes were. Question number 12. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Telford, England. My girlfriend of 3 years left me 2 weeks ago. I caught her talking on the phone with some unknown guy at 2 a.m. Oh, I was upset and I didn't talk to her for 2 days, but then she turned cold after apologizing to me. She then broke up with me, stating the way I treated her by not commenting. Wait, she's misspelled this. By not committing, that must be what she means. For not being the most attentive boyfriend, and because I cheated on her 2 months ago, which she said she never forgave me for, which I didn't realize. I was sorry for what I did, but she says that she no longer feels the same and can never forgive me. She wanted to continue to be bed buddies, but I couldn't bring myself to do it because I was hurt and wanting her. I've tried to reason with her, but nothing worked. She says she's happy with her life and she knows her perfect guy is out there. I apologize and feel she has zero respect since I begged. Her tone is completely numb, and she says that she can't look past the stuff and that maybe if it's meant to be, we can try in the future. I feel so horrible, and because we broke up, we were supposed to move in with each other, but she said it was too late, that she had already moved on. God, I know my mistake and I corrected it, but now I'm lonely and wishing I could change her mind. I'm in 1 day of no contact. Any advice? Yes. My advice is to always remember that you reap what you sow. You sowed seeds of distrust, disloyalty, cheating, and whatever else, lying and all stuff. And that's what you sowed in your relationship. So now that plant got watered and flowered, and this is the end result. You don't have a relationship with that lady anymore. She didn't matter enough for you not to cheat on her, so motherfucker, she don't matter now. Okay? Stop all this bitching and crying and shit. Act like a big fucking baby. You wasn't thinking about her feeling and your relationship and all that kind of stuff when you was busy dipping out with that other woman 2 months ago, were you? So shut the fuck up. Just shut up. This is what you get. If you thought you was gonna get some sympathy from me, you not. She showed your ass. You cheat if you want to. This is gonna be the end result. So hopefully you learned a valuable lesson. When you have somebody that you claim to love, treat them with respect. Treat that relationship like it's important to you. Don't you do this kind of stuff to your women, and then you won't have this problem. But you think you just gonna do what the fuck you want to do, and she gonna stay with you anyway, and everything's gonna be the same because you said, "Oh, I'm sorry." Fuck you. And that's what she said, and that she's out on her way out the door, and she left your ass. Good for her. Whine, sitting up there whining to me with this shit. You should have had too much pride to write to me with this bullshit. For real. Loser. Question number 13, male, 28 to 34. He's a white Gemini from New Jersey, female, 18 to 21, and she's a Taurus. I tried to give my number to this girl that I like at work, and she said that she was okay. She's okay. She recently became single after a 3-year relationship and wants to be single for a time. We are still good friends, talk frequently, and I occasionally flirt with her, and she's okay with it. Should I wait for her to be ready or look elsewhere? I also do not know if she's interested in me. Okay, she's 18 to 21 and you 28 to 34. So you at least 10 years older than her, right? We're going to say 10 years older than her. You work with her. She already turned you down. You said you don't know if she's interested in you. She said that she's okay. You know what that means? That means I'm not giving you my number, and that means I don't want to be bothered with you. That's what I'm okay means. I like my life just how it is without you in it. So, why are you trolling young girls 18 to 21 and your job is just ridiculous. Get your date somewhere else. Leave the girl alone. This is why young girls have a hard time having a job, because of men like you. They just want to be in there to make their money. She's not trying to be bothered with your ass humping up on her every day, whining and talking about your dick. Get out of here. Go sit down at your desk and do some work. That's what you're getting paid to do. Okay, not be trying to get your swerve on with the young female employees. So stupid. Man, if I was your boss, I'd be on you with both feet and make you transfer your ass to another division across country or something, just so you could leave her alone. Because I don't like that kind of stuff. Leave girls alone on their jobs. Leave them alone. You're not there to be trying to get your relationship going and get your swerve on. You're there to make money for the employer. You're there to do a job. Do it. Focus on that. Leave these little girls alone. You fucking loser. I'm mad. I'm just, these two, not just back to back. Candace did that on purpose. Piss me the fuck off. I hate this kind of shit. And it gets annoying. It's just totally annoying. It gets on your goddamn nerves. You just want to go to work and make your money and then go home. You don't want to be fending off men's approaches. And every one of them always thinks that they're the only one. So, you got working in a big company. Here come 20 different dudes trying to tip and creep up on you and ask you out and all those shit. Go mind your business. Go to your desk. That's why so many companies have no dating on the job policies, because they're trying to protect the female employees. Yeah, it's harassment. Well, if he keeps it up, but he I'm sorry about that. Please say I got them dying from that's like yeah, don't be breaking your dishes. That could be expensive. You don't want to do that. But it just gets on my nerves that these dudes feel so entitled, because the woman is there basically, you're a captive audience, right? For 8 hours a day, you're stuck there. So it's really hard to get away. You can only put a little bit of this, but you can't just get up and leave, because that's your job and you have to be there. So they have you like as a captive, and they're going to keep hounding you every fucking day or a couple of times a week, sometimes a couple of times a day. They, trying to be friendly and make jokes and all that stuff. And when you just want them to get the fuck out of your face. The me that I am now versus me when I was younger, well, I still slapped the shit out and punched that dude right in the jaw that time when he touched me. But now it'll be like just the conversation. I would cuss men out. So get the fuck away from me. I'm not trying to be around you. Go to your desk and do your goddamn job. Why don't you? Stop trying to get your dick wet at the job, motherfucker. Okay, that would be who I am now. And I would straight tell them what they gonna do. Go cry to the boss. Well, I was trying to get my swerve on and I was sexually harassing her and she cussed me out. They're not gonna say nothing. That's why you in that environment where you tell them to leave you alone and they don't. You can be free to say whatever the fuck you want to, however the fuck you want to say it, and there ain't shit they can do about it, because you already told him to leave you alone and he didn't do it. So when the fact that you cuss him out now and go nuclear on his ass, he had that coming. That's my sentiment about it. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's like, God damn it. Just stay in your envelope and stay at your desk. Stay in your office. Do what you're supposed to be doing to leave the female employees alone. Jesus Christ, can't even just go to work in peace. Question number 14, female 22 to 27 from Phoenix, Arizona. I have had a few dates with a guy I met at a summer fiesta. There is chemistry and we had eggplant 3 days ago. However, I'm concerned about his comment that I smell funny, quote, down there, end quote. I shower before our dates, so how can this be? It's rather embarrassing. I have good hygiene, so what is the problem? I'm turned off and I don't want to see him ever again. Do you think anyone here has ever had this kind of rude comment after intimacy with a guy? I don't know. I would bet if they did that he got cussed out, because this crowd don't roll like that. We're like birds of a feather and we tell folks off. But I'm going to say this. First of all, depending on who you have been intimate with, you could have some kind of infection. Okay. Go to the gyno and get that checked out, because, he could be right. It could be a problem. The second thing is, I'm going to say this, is I am a firm believer that women need to take baths. Women need to sit in some water. Okay. You got to soak Miss Kitty and all those, especially if you're a heavy girl, you got to wash out them cracks, crevices, and rolls. The only way you're going to do that is if you sit your ass in some water. A shower is fine for touch-ups, but to be really clean, you need to sit in the water. Okay? And I know a lot of people don't like to take baths. Sit your ass in the tub. Okay? Especially if you're sexually active. Because men, no. sit in the tub and let the water, you know, you put Epsom salts in there, whatever you're going to do. Make sure everything is fresh and clean and sanitary. Because, you know, they be transferring bacteria and stuff to you that you need to sit in some water to wash out of you. Okay. I'm trying to be the delicate, but, you know, essentially sit your ass in some hot water and, you know, you're dealing with some dude. You married, you still with some dude, you're dealing with some dude, you got a steady boyfriend, whatever. That's what you need to do. Okay. Now, so it could be just that. If you've only always your whole life taken showers, you might have some stuff in some cracks and crevices somewhere that you're not even aware of. So I'm gonna say do those two things, and then you should be okay. You get checked out by a doctor. Make sure you, like I said, if you have any infection, they'll take care of it. They'll give you medication for it and stuff. You treat yourself, and then you know that he wasn't messing with you. There really was something wrong. Sometimes women have BV or something else, you know, and it doesn't necessarily mean you got it from a partner, but it just happens, you know. So especially in the summertime, you have to wear underpants that like cotton, so it absorbs moisture and stuff. Otherwise, you set up as a breeding ground for bacteria. So things like that. So take your little ass to the gyno first, and then make sure that you, before you go to the gyno, sit in the tub of water and get everything fresh and clean. Okay, that's what you need to do. I think a lot of mothers don't tell their daughters this kind of stuff. You know, you start dealing, tipping around with these boys, you need to be sitting in some water, with some Epsom salts, a little boric acid, something to get yourself together. Okay, question number 15. This is a young lady in the 35 to 41 age group. She's black, a Capricorn, out of Miami, Florida. Hi, Deb. I'm 35 years old with one child who is soon to be 16. I had a relationship that wasn't going anywhere, so after 5 years, I walked completely away. From January 2022, I have not been intimate since March 2021. 2021, not a typo, 18 months. We share no kids and maintain separate apartments, and we didn't share any accounts or businesses, so it's been a clean break. I'm ready to date again, but I'm afraid as well, as I feel there aren't a lot of options. I want someone that is independent, employed, with his own vehicle. I don't live in New York. It's some other upstate. No criminal record, no gaggle of baby mamas. While 1 to 2 kids from a previous relationship or marriage is okay and is good with hygiene. I'm introverted and shy. I've never been to a club or a bar, and I'm not sure what to do to meet people. My last ex I met online, and the ex before that was a childhood classmate that I reconnected with through Facebook. The internet is smoke and mirrors to me. I don't want it to be the sole source, let alone an option at all if I can avoid it. Any advice, please? I don't know. Why are you asking me? Why these women are writing me to ask me where to meet a man? I don't know. They're everywhere. Like I always say, they're everywhere. I've met great guys in the grocery store shopping. I don't know, Costco. I mean, at the auto repair shop, all kind of stuff. Just sitting there waiting for my car to be fixed. And here comes somebody sitting down next to me while he waits to pick up his car and strike a conversation. Next thing you know, he asks for your number. He want to take you out. So it's like there's no one magical place where you go to meet a guy. They're everywhere, and you're gonna meet them everywhere. And everything that you find is not gonna be good. I'm not magic, bewitched, ding. I can't make every man that you want be perfect and wonderful and your exact type and stuff like that. That's up to you. But I'm just telling you, if you open your eyes, there's men everywhere. They're everywhere. Some of them probably gonna be ain't shit motherfuckers, but guess what? They're still there. That's up to you to determine what if it's gonna be the right kind of dude for you or not. So I don't know. I can't really tell you the answer to this question because to me there isn't a place to go. There isn't something that you just do. You just take the only thing I can think, that maybe if you haven't done it, taking advantage of that, is ask your friends and relatives and stuff, coworkers, whatever, if they have anybody that they think would be a good match for you. Use your network. That's a possibility. If you haven't tried that, try that. But other than that, I'm sorry I cannot provide you with an answer to your question. Because I don't think there is any magical place where you go to meet a man that you're compatible with. They just all over the place like ants. Question number 16. Male, 20 to 34. He's mixed race from Santa Clara, California. Hey, Deb. Glad to see you back at the helm and doing great. Thank you. I am a lurker watcher, not in the lives much, but I watch your videos because you are smart and funny as fuck. Here is my problem. I'm a fit guy, and most of the women that I've dated have been black or brown women on the thicker, chubbier side. My female coworker, she is white by the way, just accused me of having a fetish. I don't get it. Is there anything wrong with having a physical preference for curvy women? I just like some thickness. It doesn't mean I never liked them for other reasons or didn't find them intellectually interesting as well. I'd never accuse her of having a fit fetish for dating slim fit guys. LOL. What should I say to her in the future? Oh, chances are, sometimes, and I'm gonna say this, I know my white people up here don't get offended, but I'm gonna just tell you my reality as a black woman. They can't stand it when they like you and you don't give them a second look, and they start wanting to put down what you do like. Because too many of them, in my personal experience, I'm not talking about everybody, I'm talking about what I've experienced. They feel like they are the pick of the litter, the prize, that they're better than a black or brown woman just because they're white and they have blonde hair and blue eyes or whatever. I don't know, whatever. They think that they're better and that they are more entitled to the man that you have than you are. That's what I have found in my vast years on this earth. This pattern has happened too many times. And you can't really blame them because that's how they're socialized. You look at every magazine and newspaper you look in, they're featured and they have this look, and that so if they feel like they look like the look that's being promoted, they feel like they're at the top of the heap. So you can't really blame them for that because it's being reinforced everywhere. Every time you turn around, is little black and brown girls and little Asian girls get the same thing. We don't look like that. We don't look like that. We'll never look like that. We look like what we look like, which is beautiful for our culture, for our race, for our ethnicity, our corner of the world. But we never gonna look like a blue-eyed, blonde, white European. It's not gonna happen. So when you have somebody like that talk in your ear, telling you, accusing you of making your choice be a fetish, and we're not talking about like the earlier thing where the dude was just like focused on that one aspect of a woman's anatomy, her fupa or whatever. He's talking about the overall woman. He just like a thicker build. Most men are like that. To tell you the truth, they like curves. They like like the Marilyn Monroe, who really was not really that curvy, but she had a defined waist and hips and stuff like that, and she had some meat on her. And Beyonce, she's tiny but she's curvy. Halle Berry, tiny but curvy. And then some, there's women that are a little bit bigger. So that's what he likes. So what you have to do is tell your coworker here that accuse you of having a fetish. You tell her that who you like is none of her concern, and to mind her business, and to only talk to you about work related stuff. Because who you choose to have in your life in your private time is not her concern. You need to shut that down. That's what she's getting at. She's attracted to you, so she's trying to position it so that you thinking that she's better and more attractive than these women that you like. You already have a preference. Stick with what you like and don't worry about her. Yeah, they be having that thigh gap and stuff, and I have a lot of white clients, and it just used to amaze me. They could have fat rolls and just be all kind of misbuilt, but as long as they had a flat stomach, that's all they cared about. It seemed to be something in the white culture. Y'all want a flat stomach to the exclusion of any and everything else. The rest of your body could be wrecked, but if you have a flat stomach, you happy. I just didn't understand it because like you don't have no booty, your booty hanging down the back of your thighs. You know, your body fat is so high because you keep dieting. You don't have no muscle mass. Nothing about you is attractive. The only thing that looks good is the fact that you have a flat stomach. So you want to wear crop tops and stuff all the time. Whew, it's just a different. It was just a whole different thing. I tell you, I just learned a lot about it. But they were always good clients. But I would never let them get away with that. It's like, no, we're gonna work on your whole body. You're gonna have some shoulders, you're gonna have some arms, you're gonna develop your back and chest, you're gonna get some glutes, and you're gonna strengthen and tone your legs, and then you can work on your flat stomach too. But I'm not gonna be just sitting up here doing 1,000 different stomach exercises while the rest of you looks like who would have thought it. We're not gonna do that. And they used to think I was funny, but I would just be telling them, no, we're not doing that. You can't be walking around here talking about I'm your trainer and you look a hot mess. That's not gonna work. Because your clients are like your advertisements in the gym. If people see your clients they know how they started, and 3, 4, 5 months later they see them and they looking like a bang up bombshell. Well, then here they come because they want you to do those tricks on them. So I always have a full book of clients, and so your clients are your advertisement. How you train is going to be sending a message to everybody in the gym who watches those people transform. And so B, being aware of that, was not going to let them just work on a flat stomach. No, we're going to work on everything. Because from the back, you look like hell. Okay? Your shit is not cute. So we're going to work on you all over. And they liked it. They liked it in the end. What? Yeah. Silver screen, I'm telling you. It's like, looking crazy and talking about I'm your trainer. No. So that's what I'm gonna suggest anyway to this guy. Just shut her shit down. She out her envelope. Question number 17, male, 42 to 49. He's African American and a Taurus from San Bernardino, California. The female in question is in 35 to 41 age group, and she is also black. So recently I met online an incredible woman, and we seemed to match in interests, lifestyle, music, etc. We met in real life and we enjoyed a 12-hour date from morning till night. We didn't have any eggplant, in case you were wondering. Well, thank you. We spent the day laughing, having lunch, walking to town, having dinner, and feeling really good. The problem is we live in different cities, and my last breakup happened because I couldn't stand a long distance relationship. So although I'll travel for work soon and I'll see her again, I'm torn between A, telling her how much I like her, also about knowing a long distance thing won't work for me, and proposing her to keep in touch and hope that maybe in the future one of us will move. That's number A. Or B, not saying anything, keep seeing her once in a while when she or I travel for work, and letting the relationship develop where it can, while maybe eternally feeling it's doomed because of the distance thing. What do you think should be my approach? I think you should slow the fuck down. You went on one date with the woman and you already talking about who gonna move cross country? Dude, you doing too much. Okay? You went on one date. What is this? What is this? I'm confused. You act like, y'all proposed or something. This is what you're gonna do. You're just gonna let it go. Just relax. Okay? If you see her, you see her. If you don't, you don't. You should date other people too. But she's not gonna be like your woman or anything like that. And then you don't say how long the distance is. You in San Bernardino. What, is she up here? And you act like that's some big long distance thing because you travel for work? It must be something like that. She's probably somewhere in California, a few different cities. You didn't say different state. Notice how he didn't say different state, he said different cities. So I'm thinking since he's in Southern California, she must live up here somewhere, or maybe in the middle of the state. Dude, do you know you can drive from here to there in 6 hours, 7 hours? Well, okay. Going the speed limit, 7 to 8 hours, but going the way I drive, you can make it in 6. That's no big deal. You can hop a plane. They have all kind of specials. You can go for $49 or whatever. Catch a flight up here. You can catch a flight down there. If you're both in California, that's not really a big deal. Not for somebody who travels for work all the time. So that would say slow down, stop trying to jump ahead to find a reason to tank it, and just let it develop slowly. You just never know what's going to happen. You really enjoyed the woman that much. This is worth investigating further. You rarely find somebody that you want to spend 12 hours with, and every minute of the 12 hours is wonderful. Because, you don't sound like you guys had any lag time where there was like a struggle to try to figure out what to say and do and all that. You guys thoroughly vibed. That's rare. So I would suggest that you take a couple of deep breaths, slow down, and just let it happen. Let's see what's going to happen here. Don't force it and don't tank it. Question number 18, female 28 to 34 from Birmingham, Alabama. The male in question is also in the 28 to 34 age group. Please be gentle yet bluntly truthful with me, as I'm extremely hurt but need an honest dose of reality, I think. Oh. I've been in a situationship for longer than I care to say because it's embarrassing. 5 years. In the beginning, he was charming, kind, attentive, and it was like a dream come true. I still can't even explain the good that he made me feel, like it was a dream. Then, after 6 months, when eggplant happened, he changed completely. It was like a light switch, and I was left in panic mode. He didn't want a relationship and so on, but continued to send me heart and emoji-filled text messages. I stopped panicking and placed him and not wanting a relationship at the back of my mind because it hurt me so bad because it felt like I gave my body away just to be used. I grew up in a religious household, so I have a lot of shame that I shouldn't have because of that. To the point, so the pain was too much, so I didn't think about it. This continued for a year. Sometimes he would just ghost me, and then he would come back. I wouldn't bring it up because when I didn't, he would say, never mind. I would just leave then bye. So I stopped bringing up these thoughts that hurt me all the time. Stupid, I know. I'm leaving, and I did, but a month later, he started sending me cute little messages where I lied and said I'm talking to someone so I wouldn't fall back, pressure to go back, and I thought he would leave me alone. But he said, why can't we just be friends then? Of course he did. That was everything I wanted to hear, but it was just a lie for him to sleep with me. Now it's like he gives a little and takes it back. One day he can stop talking to me at all after saying about loving me. This has happened so bad that I end up in the hospital with an anxiety attack. What? The last time I saw him, I texted and said, we can't hang out, but no eggplant because I can't anymore. But laying in bed, he started touching me and I allowed it. Now my self-esteem and self-worth is ruined, so I'm stuck on. If I become prettier or better, will he like me? But he will never like me, right? Is there anything I can do? I have no woman support in my life and would like to hear advice from you all, please. Oh, I'm going to say this. You know the game that he's playing. You spelled it out here very succinctly. Well, not succinctly, but very thoroughly. Okay, very analytical about his motivations and how he runs the game. Yet you keep putting yourself in that situation like this is the only man on this planet. So, you and to the point where you stay fixated on this idiot, this man that hurts you repeatedly, to the point where you ended up in the hospital with an anxiety attack. Are you kidding me? If anybody's supposed to have one, it's supposed to be him, not you. So I'm going to say this, and you probably don't want to do it. You need to block him everywhere. As a matter of fact, change your phone number so he can't call you or text you anymore, and move on. Okay, it's going to hurt. You're going to have to make a clean cut. You might need some therapy to support you through this and figure out why you kept going back to a relationship, to a man, just to have yourself hurt again and again and again, like a pain addict. You just needed another fix of the hurt. So you kept going back for more. That's what it feels like to me. So, yeah, therapy, I think, would be a good idea for you because this is ridiculous. I mean, to the point where you crashed and burned and ended up in the hospital? No, no. But yeah, you need to change your number so he can't be calling you. Okay. Close down your social media, make everything private so he can't, be sending you messages or anything. You need to distance yourself from him because you don't seem to have the strength to do it when he contacts you. So you got to put barricades in place so he can't. You let him destroy your self-esteem and self-worth. Big mistake. That's all I can tell you because, I can't do anything about this. These are all choices that you made, fully aware, as your letter explains, of what you were doing and what he was doing, yet you still did it anyway. That's why I suggest that you need a therapist. There's something about you that enjoys hurting yourself. That's kind of sick and twisted. So you need to figure out what's going on there and fix that. And then after that, you won't have any use for a person like this that wants to come into your life and hurt you. You'll be feeling so much better about yourself that you won't let people like this into your world anymore. Okay? So start there. Question number 19, male, 18 to 21. He's from Des Moines, Iowa. So I've been talking to this girl for a good month or so now, and things have been going really well. We get along well, and I think she's attracted to me. I obviously can't say for certain that she's into me, but there's definitely a chance. But last night, she went out to a frat party and got pretty drunk. She was texting me during some of it, which is how I know. Today, she told me that she kissed the guy. It obviously made me feel bad when I first heard it, but then she said that he wasn't good at kissing and she wanted to throw up. She said that she was really drunk, but I'm just not sure what to think of it. Should I just assume that she's not into me and move on? Or should I not make a big deal out of her kissing someone when she's drunk, especially considering she said it wasn't good? It doesn't matter what she said. It was good, bad, sideways, left, right, up and down, red, black, white. It don't matter because she's not your woman. Talking to. You don't have no commitment with her. There's nothing you can say here. You shouldn't even been writing this letter because she ain't your woman. So whoever she kisses or screws or anything, it's not your business because she ain't your woman. Y'all ain't in a relationship. She's not. You're not a couple. You're in the talking to phase, which you could be with 20 different people. That's not a relationship, sir. That's not a commitment, and there's nothing that she owes you when y'all talking. Okay? You haven't asked her for any kind of commitment. You haven't made a claim. So shut up. What she does and who she does it with is not your business. Same on your side. She can't say nothing, and you can't say nothing about what she does either. So you're just gonna let this go and chalk it up to experience. But if you don't want a girlfriend who gets, in the future, a girlfriend who gets drunk and does stupid shit, then you would know that this is not the type of woman for you. And it's not rocket science. It's not. If I was a dude, it was no woman I'd want to be bothered with. First of all, you can't be getting drunk around just any old body. Horrible things happen when women get drunk and stuff. I mean, sometimes people be plying you with drinks. Sometimes people put stuff in your drink and you think that you're drunk, but you're not really drunk. You're drugged. But if she's so careless that she, is not aware of that, and she's just gonna be doing whatever willy nilly at these frat parties and stuff, she's gonna cause you problems. So let her go. That's my advice. Let her go. Yeah, I've been talking a good month or so. That ain't shit. Question number 20. Female, 22 to 27, Aquarius from Dallas, Texas. She's Latinx and she's in Spanish. Okay, I have been celibate for a year now and I am going crazy. I used to be very naughtily active rather in a relationship or having an eggplant friend. I'm always safe with protection. However, I moved to Texas a year ago and decided to put a hold on casual stuff. I set my eyes on dating and started a relationship. However, I cannot find a single man that isn't a waste of time or incompatible to me. At this rate, it will probably take another 10 years to find a guy that I even half like. I'm okay with staying single and living my best life, but the second I hit that year mark of celibacy, my body got mad at me. I have my handy dandy toys that work for the moment, but the next day I'm a crazy person again. It's affecting my work and social life. I find myself fantasizing about guy friends. I don't want to hook up with guy friends or anyone near my social circle because I don't want to have a reputation. My question is, how do I go about finding a eggplant buddy that doesn't annoy the crap out of me? I hate dating apps so much. I just want to find a guy that isn't dirty or socially awkward and good at what he does, if you know what I mean. Back in my college days, I would just glance at a hot guy across the room and it was a go. I don't really have a type. I like all kinds of guys and races as long as they're hot. I would say that I'm also attractive. I just don't know where or how to find a suitable man and cannot think straight anymore because of all this need for intimacy. Well, I'm going to say this. I have so much to say about it. First of all, just because you fucking somebody don't mean that it's going to be satisfying. Okay? Because even if he's good for somebody else, that don't mean he's going to be good to you. I've run into that problem a lot. Because women like different things. So what he did to work with somebody else, unless he's a serious lover that pays attention to how you respond to stuff, he gonna be doing the moves that he knows, and that's not gonna work for you. That might work for Barbara or Lashonda, but that don't work for you. And then when you tell them, then they have the nerve to get all offended. Well, ain't nobody ever complained before. Well, then go back and fuck them bitches then. That's what you need to do. Because I'm telling you, I don't like it. And since you're here with me, I think what I like counts more right now than people that you had in your past. So what you trying to say? You know? Now you talking about you concerned about you and where are you? Dallas. I don't know. Well, aren't the clubs and stuff opening back up? Why don't you go out? Get a couple of your girlfriends and go out to the clubs. You meet anybody. You just want him as an eggplant buddy. You're not trying to look at his intellect. Keep your birth control game tight and you be fine. You don't have to worry about if he's stupid or not. Just as long as he's doing what he's supposed to do. That's all you have to care about, right? You're trying to find a whole complete package just for an eggplant buddy. That's not how it works. The eggplant buddy is strictly, that's all you care about, that part of him, of what he's doing in life. What he works, how much money he got, his car, I mean, anything else that a woman might, his goals and values and his family and all this, how he takes care of his kids and his baby mama, all of that, nothing of that matters. You don't worry about any of that because that's not your relationship. Okay? That's his problem. That's not yours. So you focus, you're casting your net a little bit too wide here, girlfriend. I mean, they have clubs all through Dallas. Every time I went to Dallas, because I was living in Houston, I'd go pop up to Dallas, go to Austin, because they always had the best live music and bands and stuff in Austin. And, just spend a weekend up there. So, I mean, just travel around and see what you find. Since you're from Texas, I could tell you about Texas. Someplace else, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you nothing. But I have personal experiences there, and I've never went wrong. Met all kind of interesting dudes in Dallas. They used to have this club. It was a club restaurant that was like on the water or some lake or something. And we used to go there a lot. That was really pretty. And always met a lot of nice people there. Yes, I used to be the club dog back in the day. But, you get tired of that shit. But, I mean, you young, you still young. So hit the club and see what kind of stuff you find. Everything's open back up now that the major wave of COVID stuff is over. Like I said, just be sensible and safe. Use your birth control. Make sure somebody knows where you are, who you with, and stuff like that. And then have fun. Question number 21, male, 22 to 27. He's Asian, from Anaheim, California. The partner is female, 35 to 41, and black. So my girlfriend is 39 and I am 27, and we keep getting judged about our age difference relationship. We've been dating for only 3 months, but we've been friends for about a year before that. Our age difference is very clear to both of us, but to be honest, we get along perfectly. We have the same friend group, similar interests and hobbies, and truly have a great time together. However, last week she overheard someone in her company gossiping as to why she is dating me, or me her, and it offended her massively. To make it worse, a couple of days after that, a waiter made an assumption that she was my mother, which was incredibly stupid, not only because she looks great since black don't crack, but because she is of a different ethnicity. Yeah, you Asian? Okay. That person was just trying to be funny. That's what that was. They wouldn't have gotten no tip. Ever since then, she got incredibly agitated and insecure. Last night, we got into a massive argument because apparently, I didn't warn her that she was wearing mom jeans. It really hurts me to see her like this. So if you ladies have any advice, I would appreciate it very much. I really, really like this woman and want to continue our relationship without outside interference. She brings me joy. Oh, that's so sad. Um, yeah, I don't know. She's about to be 40, and I guess some women, that number bothers them. They feel like, they're about to start going through menopause, and their whole life is about to change, and they officially old now, and they be just tripping. I'm like, shit, at 40, I was still a hot mama, and I was not bothered. Was at 40, all my boyfriends was like in their late 20s, early 30s. I was not. Yeah. So I'm with her on that. I understand. That's a good match. But I don't know. She was wearing mom jeans. What are mom jeans? I don't even know what that is. What do those look like? Maybe somebody type it in there. I'll go and look back at the chat later to see what are mom jeans. I haven't seen any. All the jeans look like hoe jeans to me. So what in the world is a mom jean? But and then who told her that she was wearing mom? I don't know. That part's just bothering me. You see, I'm stuck on that. I can't get over the rest. But anyway, the thing about her coworkers gossiping, when she overheard it, she should have stepped up there and said, "What I do in my relationship is none of your business, bitch." That's what she should have said to her. The main reason why they was gossiping is because they're jealous. Okay, they jealous. They can't have no 27-year-old boyfriend all madly in love with them, so they're hating. So they're gonna talk about her. But that's all right. She needs to change her focus. She's looking at it as like, she has to get these people, win these people's approval or something like that. She has to understand that you're doing something that most of them wouldn't have the courage to do first, and then secondly wouldn't be able to do because they don't look like her and they don't connect with you like she does. Y'all connect, okay? And the fact that she's older than you, it just happens to be, you know, just a thing. What, 12 years, 13 years older, something like that. It's just, a matter of number. Plenty of men in reverse would have a 27-year-old wife and nobody, I mean, girlfriend, and nobody would give it a second thought. But if it's a woman, then something is a problem. So you need to tell her that. Men do this all the time. That you really like her, that you guys click, and that nobody else's opinion is important. And that, to stop listening to other people that are stupid, that are just jealous haters. She's letting haters impact her thinking about herself and about you. She's being outer focused instead of focusing on what she likes and what's best for her. So you got to it's going to be some work to kind of help redirect her thinking. But hopefully you can do it. Okay? This is terrible. Question number 22 out of 30. Female 22 to 26. She's black from Irvine, California. So I went out dancing with my friends at a club for the first time in years last night. And I was kind of curious how other women deal with something. I'd gone out with a few friends, but they got tired early, so I decided to stay alone. Mistake. Don't do that. For the first time in my life, I actually felt confident dancing in front of people. I'd always been shy about it, so I was really feeling it. This is not going to end well, I can tell. I was just having a great time, just vibing on my own, not trying to meet anybody. But there was this one guy who was acting weird. While most people were dancing, facing the DJ, or in a group with their friends, he was turned facing away from the DJ and mostly ignoring the guys he was with, just scanning the crowd and trying to dance with girls he didn't know who all walked off the dance floor. But then he saw me and basically started following me around for like an hour. Every time I walked off, he'd eventually follow and stand between me and the stage, facing backwards and just dancing in front of me. I just ignored him and stared past him for a while, figuring he was probably just some sloppy drunk. I wasn't doing anything to encourage him, the opposite really, staring right past him like he wasn't there. Or if he really tried to come up, shaking my head no and holding my palm out in a stop gesture, walking away several times. But then he started coming into my space, like really uncomfortably close. I was honestly kind of drunk. I was by myself and didn't know what to do. So I just didn't change the way I was dancing to let him into my space. Instead, keep on dancing as I was and let my arms and elbows hit him if he walked too close. Yet he kept on trying to get up in there, despite how I just caught him on the chin with my elbow. So I finally looked him in the eye and as loud as I could said, "Fuck off," and gave him a firm shove in the chest. I thought in that moment that if he came back after that, I'd try to send one hard kick to sweep his legs out from under him and run. That's how freaked out I was. He looked like he was trying to have a conversation, so I said, "Fuck off" a few more times and pointed directly at him and then pointed at a faraway corner of the room repeatedly so there was no room for confusion. That drew a lot of attention, and he noticed that and took a few steps back. I walked away the other direction and finally lost him. But now I kind of feel weird about the whole thing. I absolutely loved going out dancing, but the thing with that guy concerned me, especially because I was one step away from getting aggressive with him, and honestly, that's not something that I wanted to do. I've done martial arts for years and learned that the best way to handle a fight is to avoid it if at all possible. I didn't see any of the other girls he was following before me having to escalate things, so I was wondering, does anyone in your audience have more experience with the clubbing scene? What are some non-violent ways to de-escalate someone being pushy? Or is there really no other way and I had the right idea? First of all, the main mistake is, this is my number one rule, okay? I've gone out by myself, certainly, but if shit starts getting fucked up, I get one of the security guards to walk me to my car and I get in my car and I go home, okay? That's only happened a couple of times. The majority of the time, though, I'll say this: if you're a young lady and you go out with a group of friends, when your friends leave, your ass needs to leave too. Do you think the men in there didn't notice that you stayed there by yourself? Do you know what they perceive if you stay there? Do you know what that means to translate to them? Well, I haven't found no dick that I want to take home yet, so let me stay here till I do. That's how men think. You talking about the club environment, club animal here, all over the country, winning all these, just that's what I used to like to do, could study people. So that is the message that you're transmitting to all the dudes who were watching you and your friends, that you wanted some dick, and that's why you stayed behind by yourself. And then by being on the dance floor dancing by yourself, it's called a pussy show. Okay, these are things that you should know before you be running your little ass up in a club by yourself. When you dancing by yourself, it's interpreted as you putting on a show so men can notice you, especially if you at the club by yourself. You're advertising. That's what that is. I'm not saying that's what you were doing. I'm saying that's the perception. That's how it's going to be interpreted in club lingo. Okay, because otherwise you would have been dancing with a dude. Otherwise you would have left with your friends. But you dancing by yourself. That's like an exhibition. This is what you could get. So dude, by dancing, coming up there dancing with you, was staking a claim to the other dudes that this is the bitch that I want to fuck tonight. That's what he was doing. And you not getting it, stayed your ass in there, and you just gonna keep dancing anyway. In the future, when your friends leave, your little ass gets in the car and you leave with them. Don't you ever do any shit like this again. This is super dangerous. And it was just stupid. I mean, luckily this guy wasn't crazy. And so he just left you alone. But a lot of them will grab you. And by the time the security gets over there, you'll already be hurt, requiring hospitalization, or your clothes pulled up. All kind of shit will be going on. Take your little ass home when your friends go. This goes for every girl listening to this show. Don't you dare stay. The security be at the front door. They don't be on the dance floor. If occasionally they walk through, but like I'm saying, by the time they get there, it'll be too late. It takes less than 30 seconds for a woman to be sexually assaulted like that. Okay? Get your little ass home. Don't be dependent on security. Definitely don't think the men around there watching are going to do anything. They're going to watch and pull out their phones and record it. Take your ass home when your friends leave. There is nothing for you to find at that club. You want to dance, you can dance at your house. Okay? Now this is really bothering me. This is just, you lucked out that you made it out of there in one piece. Don't you ever do any shit like this again because you're too naive. You don't have no game. Now you do know martial arts. Are you prepared to use it? Because that's what you would have had to do to get somebody up off of you. And that's kind of hard to do in a situation where, there's other people that you might hurt. I could see your hesitancy because while you're trying to deal with him, you might hurt 3 or 4 innocent people dealing with him as he flips around and kicks around and stuff while you trying to get him in a chokehold or put him down or whatever. So it's a risky situation all around. It's not a good idea. You saw that the environment had changed once your friends left. Get out of there and go home. There's no reason for you to stay there. There was nothing there for you to find. I mean, I used to go to clubs by myself too, but this was in the 80s and in the early 90s. I mean, shit was different then. It's that people weren't crazy like they are now. You could go to some place, and I used to not go to like the main clubs where there was a whole bunch of black people by myself. I would go to mixed clubs, which there are plenty of them in San Francisco. I would go to, there's a place that, called Rock and Robin. They used to be on Haight Street, and they would play like music from the 70s and 60s or 50s or whatever. I mean, my parents' era. I took them there a couple of times. They out there dancing with their old asses. But, they used to play, older kind of music. So it was they drew a different kind of crowd. They didn't play the rap and hip hop and all that kind of stuff, which really wasn't that big of a thing at that point anyway. But I'm just saying they played music that was for more mature set. So it drew a different crowd. I used to go there by myself all the time. But you going to these clubs where they playing all that, bitch, fuck you, shit, fuck hoes, all that kind of music, and you're gonna be in there by yourself, you stupid. So don't you do this shit anymore. Okay, in case you didn't catch it. When your friends leave, you leave. If you don't go nowhere by yourself in these new clubs, you can't do that. You cannot do that anymore. Yeah, the 80s and early 90s, you could do stuff like you can't do that shit no more. Question number 23, female, 22 to 27, Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm 23. My boyfriend, Dustquavious, oh, no, she didn't. Oh, she used the name. My boyfriend, Dustquavious, quote, is 26, and his best friend girl, Ho Anna, not Joanna, Ho Anna, oh my God, is 27. Ho Ann and Dee live in the same apartment complex, but in different apartments. I live in an entirely different area, and all three of us work in the same office. Most of their meals they eat together as they split the cost, so it's easier on them financially. They have known each other for close to 5 years. Now, I'm not a jealous kind of person. Dee has many female friends, and I get along with them. But Ho Ann is also in a complicated but committed relationship. Now, the issue is Joanne acts like an entitled person. She will speak absolute shit about D to her boyfriend, ignore D whenever she wants, calls him names, etc. And suddenly then she will become all good and friendly. Yes, honey, she done used the name. I am dying. I forgot who was that, Michonne? Somebody was to take that a couple of weeks ago, Dustquavious, and I thought I was gonna die. Okay, so let me get back to this. So she says D is someone who can't sever relationship ties. He will do anything to keep people in his life. I have asked Dustquavious to maintain boundaries with Joanna multiple times when he will try for a few days, but then he'll go right back to being normal and the cycle repeats. Whenever I point out that he always says it's for his own benefit because it helps him in cooking, etc., which I know is a shitty excuse. This is really starting to affect our relationship. And no, they are not cheating on me that I'm absolutely sure of. Hey, squad, please suggest what I should do. You should break up. Why is this even a question? He's putting his what she wants in front of what you want. Don't you understand the dynamic here? He likes her. He just has you around for whatever purposes you serve, but he likes her. Ho Anna and Dustquavious. Oh, this was the best. But yeah, it's affecting your relationship, but he don't care because he gonna keep doing it because he's more into her than he is into you. The only person who doesn't get this is you. So I suggested you humdulillah, give him, his space with Hoan, change jobs so you don't have to see him ever again, and deuce out. That's what you need to do. In the future, don't date anybody that you work with. That's too much. Do not date someone that you work. Never shit where you eat. Okay? I don't know why all you young people act like the only people that you could date is somebody that you have met on your job. That is the worst thing ever. Because then as soon as you break up, then what you gonna do? You got to see them every day. You're gonna be the gossip of the office, and then you're gonna be mad, especially if they did something real horrible to you. You're gonna be mad at your desk all day, and your work is gonna be affected, and then you're gonna get fired. So it's just better just to never go down that path. Don't even set foot on that road. Keep your love life and your paycheck separate. Always. Always. Okay? Yeah, time to move on. Question 24, male 22 to 27. He's African American and Aries from Houston, Texas. I am doing the online dating thing and I keep running into women who claim they are, quote, separated. How can someone who is separated be considered single? I've heard of people dating while separated and call themselves single, though. To me, it comes across as completely lying because they are legally still married. Am I wrong? No, not in my opinion. You are correct. They are separated, but they're still married. You know how many people will go to cancel the divorce and try one more time, especially if they have kids. They feel like they owe it to their children to keep, to try again. Not always, but most couples will do that at least once. Some way more than once. So they're still legally married. Until they have the final divorce decree, they're married. So no matter what they talking about I'm single, no. And a lot of times, people will be married and they talk about themselves single because they travel for work and they husband or wife is in I don't know, Pennsylvania, and they in Texas. And so to them, they're separated. But it's just a plane ride away. But technically, they are separated. So I'm with you. I fully agree with it. And I would always suggest when people are dating someone who's in that situation that they not invest emotions because you just either the person's on the rebound or the risk. So one or both of the couple, still have some unresolved feelings, and the chances of them wanting to get back together are very high. In the case they just freeze out the partners that they use for an emotional band-aid when they get back together. So I'm with you. If you see somebody like that and they claim that they single or because they're separated, just scroll on by, keep it moving, because they're not. Question number 25, male 22 to 27, Edmonton, Canada. I've struggled with dating for a little bit after graduating from college, and I've realized that a lot of it is just that I'm interacting with a lot less women. My work is currently remote, so I don't interact with coworkers often, and my primary hobbies are D&D and magic, both of which are very male-dominated hobbies. In addition, without the regular walks across campus, I've been growing a little pudgier, and it's like and I'd like to cut back on my growing belly. With all of this said, what are some good physical hobbies you'd recommend that would allow me to get out of the house and meet more women for either relationships or friendships? Basically, I need ideas for some physical hobbies I can do that would meet more women. I am 22 years old. Well, I don't know what they have in Edmonton, Canada, but a lot of women take tennis lessons, right? That's one way. You could join a gym and take the group exercise classes. Those are full of women. A lot of them probably even married in relationships or whatever, but the women are more attracted to the group exercise classes than they are just to the free weights and stuff. They love to hop around in a group. I just don't understand. I hate group exercise, but the women love it. They be in there doing their little salsas, dancing, and their little zumbas and all this old stuff here. So I mean, you could look into something like that. There'll be a lot of women in the class, and you likely be one of few men. So you'll get all the attention from the single women. Um, you know, I guess it's probably over now, but they have a lot of co-ed softball leagues. I've known people who've gotten dates and actually got married from first somebody they met on their team, and so some women will play on those. Not a lot, but you still could meet somebody. And I don't know, go see what Meetup is doing in. Where are you? Edmonton, Canada. Meetup.com. Do they have meetups in Canada, Sue? I don't know. But, see what if you can find some kind of, fit thing like a hiking club or something. But I guess in Canada it gets cold, so you probably got a small window of opportunity there. But, I'm in California, so we hike and bike and all that stuff year round. But, things like that. Think of the things that women like to do. Dancing lessons. They usually don't have enough men in those. It's kind of corny, but ballroom dancing, a hip hop dance class, whatever. Think of things that women like to do, and then you go and join classes and stuff to do those things. It's very simple. Gardening, flower arranging, baking, cooking, all kind of stuff. So you look around and see what kind of courses and activities you could take. They probably have some free ones at the community college or some kind of neighborhood community center or something like that. So you look around, it's going to require you to put in some effort, more than asking me. But those are some ideas to get you started. You got to take it from there. Because I don't know what the hell is in Edmonton, Canada. Tourcasting 26, male 22 to 27 from Brighton, East Sussex in the UK. This is my first time ever writing for advice to anyone, so please excuse me if I don't do it quite right. I would like to say first off that I am fully here to listen and comprehend what is being told to me, and that I know I will need to change for this to work. My girlfriend and I are both 25 and have been together for just over 4 years now. We've been living together since early COVID-19 era, early 2020. Recently, my girlfriend decided to move out and told me that it was because she needed more space and felt that I wasn't doing enough with small stuff such as laundry and dishes. Although I can agree to this, I feel that it came out of nowhere. And we never really had a conversation to justify this decision or for her or for me to put in more. When bringing it up to her, she simply said I shouldn't have to be a conversation. I should just know better. I want to have her move back, but I want to make sure to do it the right way and not to have this situation happen again. I do want to clarify, we are not broken up. What are my next steps? You are broken up. You're broken up. One who doesn't get it is you. Do you think a woman moves out from you and you still had a relationship anyway? If she didn't specifically say that, sir, then that means she moved her stuff out and she's gone. So look at it from her perspective. She lived with you for 2 years. And she felt like you didn't keep up your end of the bargain. You want to have a conversation with her like she's your mommy, that she has to tell you the chores that you should do, like a child. She's done. Do you know how unsexy that is? How much of a turnoff that is? You see the dishes in the sink, motherfucker, get your ass up and wash them. You see the floor needs to be vacuumed, swept, mopped, the bathroom cleaned. Why should you need her to tell you that and have a conversation about it? See, that's the part that she's frustrated with. She doesn't want to feel like she's not her child. She don't want to raise you. And the fact that she had to tell you that, it just was sent her over the moon. And so she's probably told you a couple of times already, we'll take out the trash, we'll wash the dishes, we'll do some laundry, and then you did, yeah, and you don't do it, or you do it on your time schedule. which forces her to do it so she can move on with the other chores that she's got to do. She's tired. She's done. This is one of the reasons why I tell women not to move in with men. Because all it is, you sitting up there paying half, and are they doing half of the chores? Half of the work? Nope. They always sit on their ass and playing video games and watching TV, waiting for you to do it. What is the point of moving in with a man that you're not married to? And when you marry him, that he's supposed to be projecting enough maturity that you should never have to have this conversation with him. That's why I like going to my little cousin's house. The one I did their wedding pictures a couple of years ago, and they had some parties and stuff. I posted a couple of pictures of their brand new house. I love to see them work together. They are a fucking team. She's in the kitchen cooking. He's steady around the house, wiping up stuff, sweeping up stuff, taking out the trash. She never has to tell him do it. He's doing it on his own. That's what women want. They want to feel like they're a team. You got a team. I love watching them together. I'm like, they're only in their early 30s, but he gets it. They've been together since college. And when they have a son, I think he's 15 now or something. I don't know how old is it. But anyway, they have the oldest son is like 15, I think, 14, 15, something like that. And then they have a 7-year-old. And it's just amazing to watch them work together. They do everything together, and she never has to tell him to do anything, to remind him or nothing. He's daddy on the spot. He be checking his sons and telling them what they best do. I mean, it's just wonderful to watch them together. They have a great marriage. So when you have a situation like this, where you're a little younger than him, but still, he was been like this since he was this age. What's your fucking problem? Why you think you need to have a conversation about taking care of the household where you live? You men kill me like with this. And then when the women don't want to tell you and stuff, you get all in your feelings. Well, she should have had a conversation with you. She shouldn't have. You're a grown-ass motherfucking man. You know you want to get your dick wet. You should know that. Then why don't you know when you need to wash dishes and take out the trash, vacuum, and do all the other stuff that helps the household run? Take care of your goddamn kids. When you watch your kids, it's not babysitting. Those are your children. Stuff like that. Being responsible. You motherfuckers kill me. I always want somebody to be babying you like they your mama. And the first thing you do when you want to be trying to sleep with them and shit, if somebody treats you like their mother, you're their child, they're not going to want to fuck you. So keep that in mind. If you step up and be the man, then she can have those kind of feelings about you because you're a man. But if she has it for any time, at any reason, have to treat you like a child, the pussy's going to dry up. Then you're going to wonder why you're not getting none. And months will go by and shit because you act like a kid. She don't want to fuck you because you're a child in her mind. These men just don't fucking get it. Oh, honey, yes, like desert dry. Because she just looks at you and she's disgusted. But they don't fucking get it. And then they want to get online and complain. Oh, she doesn't want to sleep with me and she left me and stuff like that. Well, yeah, she's going to leave you because you're stupid. You don't get it. Your marriage is a partnership. It's not just where you sit around like a fucking king and get served and all and taken care of like a baby, like your mommy. Get off your ass. So you fuck this up so you can forget this. Just move on. She ain't interested in you, what you talking about. I hope that made that clear so you understand what time it is when you get with your next girlfriend. You will step the fuck up and act like a mature adult and handle your household responsibilities. Stop thinking that she's supposed to do everything for you like your mommy. Motherfucker. Question number 27, female 22. I don't know, these men today are just pissing me off. I just irritated. Female 22 to 27. She's white from Tacoma, Washington. The male is 50 to 56. Oh, and he's also like, what? That must be her daddy. Can't be some old. Well, let's see. I'm feeling so scared and creeped out. I don't know what to do, and I need help. What's going on is this. My dad, he is 53, I think, has been stalking me at night when I go to the restroom. I'm creeped out, and I don't know what to do about it. Please help me. FYI, I'm 26 and currently living with my parents. This morning, my dad was standing at the end of the hall watching me until I got out of the restroom at 4:30 in the morning. He heard and knew because my alarm went off that time and he can hear it down the hall. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence, but it's to the point where it's become a trend. He did it twice in July when I first noticed it, twice last month, and today was the first time this month. I've documented each time on my calendar, the time, the date, and how it happened. He waits at the end of the hall literally just to watch me And it's not like he's wanting to go to the restroom because he walks to the other restroom. But why wait and stand there? Ever since last year, I felt weird around him when I saw him outright staring at my chest at his birthday party where he was drunk. And another time where I was working out in a backyard room and he came to ask a filler question. And again, he was right staring at my crotch area. I don't know what to do. Wow, your daddy is a freak. I read online to tell the mom, but I don't want to tell my mom because she doesn't care unless it affects her. She's that type of woman. She goes along with her husband, if anything. I'm scared that I'll have a problem with me, that she'll have a problem with me because of it. I've been through something like this before with my older brother where he touched me inappropriately while I was sleeping. And I told my mom, and I thought she was going to tell my dad, but she didn't. And just asked my brother if he wanted to go to therapy. I understand that he was young and curious. However, I never got an apology. And for me, the dynamics of our relationship changed. It's a shitty feeling to know that I'm now going through this with my own dad. I don't want to assume the worst, but it's weird. I feel like it's become a fixation. I'm concerned. I've been thinking about telling him, confronting him in front of everyone with my mom and two brothers because I don't want what happened last time to happen again. I only have my immediate family that I live with, to be honest. I don't have any other family, friends, or support. I'm a single mom. I have a child to take care of. I can't have anything happen to me. I recently secured a job, and currently there's no way I can financially move out and escape with a kid. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm the only person that can advocate for myself, but I'm scared of retaliation of what can come from this confrontation, but I don't know what else to do. Well, he hasn't done anything that crossed the line to being criminal. It's just creeping you out because he's just watching you. My thing, though, you're an adult. I'm not really too concerned about you because you know how to run, call the police, and all stuff. I'm concerned about the kid. Now, if your freaky ass brother did that shit to you when you were a kid, and you see your own daddy like hovering around you in a way that's just unsavory, what do you think would happen to your innocent little child when you're not around to run interference? You have your kid in a family of weirdos. This is a very dangerous situation for your child to be in. Like I said, I'm not real happy about what's going on with you, but you're an adult. You can call police, you can leave, you can go do whatever you need to do, go to a homeless shelter, whatever. Your kid can't really do that. Your child's only line of defense is you, and you running scared. So that's the child basically not going to have anybody if you don't stand up, warm it up real quick. I'm really concerned about the child. Now, I was okay. I mean, I'm wondering what some freaky shit was going on, but until you said that you have a kid, now that adds a whole different dynamic to it. I'm not feeling this at all. So, what I suggest is that you have a job. Who's going to be babysitting your kid while you at work? Where's your kid going to go? You don't have no money. You're going to be dependent on your parents to watch the kid. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous situation for the kid. This is why young girls with no goddamn money and no situation should not be having fucking babies. This is why I tell y'all, keep your birth control tight, and if you can't do that, get a fucking determination. See the drama that's coming to your life now because you have this damn baby that you didn't need to have? What you gonna do? Now the baby, this is just a setup for the child. You don't have no money. So you got to live around some weirdos and you have to stay there because you don't have no money. You see where I'm going with this? This is a hot mess. You can try it. Like you said, your mother's going to side with your father. That's fine. I mean, she can do that because it's her house. But, if you start talking up and making a bunch of ruckus and your mother says, well, get out there and that's the solution, you don't understand that you get out of the house, what you going to do? If you have to go to work and you can't afford childcare and you thinking your mother and your freaky ass daddy and your freaky ass brothers are going to watch your child, what you going to do? But she didn't say that she has a daughter. She said child. She didn't specify the gender. I was looking for that. She did not say that it was a daughter. She said child. So we don't know what the gender is. But when you got freaks like this, doesn't really matter because they boy kids, girl kids, they don't really care. This is a very sad situation. So what I want you to do is go and consult with a shelter. where they have women and children explain the situation that's going on and that you need to get out of this environment. Usually when they have those kind of shelters, they let you stay there for a year. You would have your own private room where you and your child would live. You don't, they give you a bed and a dresser and some basic shit, but you have to help out with meals and help clean up the facility and stuff like that. But I think that would actually be a safer environment for you than where you are, for you and your kid. Some of them operate daycares so that they're in the facility so that the mothers can work and get back on their feet. So look into something like that. Okay, that's the best suggestion I can tell you. I don't know where you go. I don't know what is available in your area, but please contact social services and start looking around. Your police would know, like battered women shelters. They often have advocates that can recommend different shelters and stuff to you. But you got to get you and your baby got to get out of this hot mess. And then you're going to put some distance between you and them people. Okay? I know that you say that's your only family, but they don't sound, that something's wrong in your family dynamic. It's not a safe environment for you to be with. And once you get your place, don't invite them over to your house. Don't even let them know where you live. If you go visit them, leave your child with somebody else. Be like, well, I want to see my grandbaby. Nope. Nope, we're not going to do that. I'll show you a picture. You can Zoom her, Zoom chat, Teams talk, Skype. That's how we're going to reach out to you. She's not going to come around here. That's my suggestion, okay? Ooh, this is a hot mess. Question number 28, female, 28 to 34. She's European, from London, male, 35 to 41 age group. He's also European. My problem is my boyfriend and his communication style. Every time we argue, he threatens to break up. We live together and have been together for about 18 months. He has depression but refuses to take medication for it. It goes like this. If I disagree with him or have a different opinion than him, he threatens to break up. Quote, I'm just going to go then. Or quote, I'm so done. So then I apologize so he doesn't leave me. Today, I'm sorting through the cat's food and one of them knocks it all off the bench all over the floor that I just cleaned. Of course, I got annoyed. So he comes in, well, why are you annoyed? I've had enough. I'm done. Oh, boy. So me being annoyed at the cat makes him done? I'm walking on eggshells with this guy. I'm scared to have a different opinion. I'm scared to make him mad because he goes, I'm sick of it at this point. Why is he doing this? Why can't he just disagree or have a little argument without him saying that he's done? Last week I wanted to go for food, got ready, etc., and he didn't. So I said, okay, fine. Then he says, oh, you're annoyed, aren't you? Shall we have a couple of days apart? I say, no, I'm not annoyed. And he says, great. Then that was forgot about. Okay, that's the end of your letter. That's odd. Okay, the bottom line is he wants out of the relationship. He wants out, and he's doing everything he can, talking to you like you crazy and like you have a tail, to get you to have enough self-respect to tell him to go then. But you don't. Instead, you cower down like a scared little animal and walk on eggshells and go through all kinds of changes to try to keep this loser in your life. Have some respect and some pride about yourself. Next time he says that he's done, say, good, get the fuck out. I'm tired of you saying that shit. Stop threatening and actually do it this time. They get all your shit and get the fuck out of my house. That's what, get out. Get out. That's what you should tell him. So watch his face. He would have had a Pikachu face. Because you sitting and you finally said something that you need to be saying. I'm like, I'm tired of you threatening. Do it. One thing I hate is people that run their mouth and don't ever take no action. That's how I am. He would have had, you said the first time, I would have been like, well, by the time he said the second time, I would have been telling him to get out. You're not gonna threaten me. I don't like you enough to worry about you not being here. Deb likes Deb. I will always like myself more than any motherfucking man ever. Always. So if they say they want to go or anything like that, I'll be there's the door. Help yourself. I'm not bothered. You look just as good leaving as you did coming. Actually, the back view might be better because now that I know all your shit that you bring with you, get all your shit and get the fuck out. Be like Musique in that video. He goes, I love that part. And I would just do that too. Just get out. And he trying to annoy you. Saying, you're annoyed, aren't you? Shall we have a couple of days apart? So he wants you to dump him. And you just won't take the bait. You just bend it over backwards to stay with this man. Girl, and you think he has respect for you? He thinks you're an idiot, as do I. Question number 29, female, 22 to 27 age group. She's African American from Plano, Texas. I recently matched with a guy on a dating app and asked the typical question, what do you look for in a girlfriend? And he said a submissive woman. I asked him to elaborate, and I still didn't understand 100%. I remember him saying that he preferred if I asked him if I could do this and do that before doing it, and respecting him if he said no. Auntie, somehow his explanation rubbed me the wrong way. It sounded more like he wants to control me. Maybe I misinterpreted it. Can you explain what your interpretation is of that statement? And why would a guy like a submissive girl as well? You're right. It's all about control. Having the upper hand and dominating and having control. There would be no logical reason on this earth for a man to be asking about something. And only black men do this dumb shit too. They end up talking about somebody submit to their bright, raggedy, tired, roach-filled asses. Ain't nobody trying to submit to you. You tripping. And they want to talk about the Bible, but the Bible says wife. It doesn't say raggedy girlfriend that you met on a dating app, some random woman that you just met. It doesn't say anything like that. It says wife. Submit to her husband as the husband submits to God. They always like to leave that part out too. So here you got, niggas ain't going to church and ain't submitting to nobody, but they want you to submit to them. Fuck out of here. Shit. I'm not religious, but I still know some shit that's in the Bible. That don't mean that, I read it with a critical eye for the bullshit, but I still know what it says. And it does not say that just women, any random woman should submit. And in those of you who are mere girlfriends and baby mamas and shit, and you talking about submitting, you're an idiot. You're not married. You're not required to submit. And that's only if, like I said, you believe in that stuff and you're married and he submits to God. So it's a three-part issue. You don't get one without the other ones. Okay? So when you have this, when you think about submission, I think I did a video on this a couple of years ago about being submissive. Basically, these women who try to promote it, I always ask them, how does that benefit you, though? How does that, you being submissive to him, how does that helping you? They always, want to talk about, I'm a Proverbs 7 woman, and I'm this and that, and some stuff here. But it's like, how is that helping you as a person, as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a human being? How is submitting to some raggedy ass man benefiting you and making your life better? They never have an answer. I must have asked 200 different bras that question, and not one of them could ever give a serious answer for how it benefited them, because they don't know, because it doesn't. They just follow some raggedy man's mandate. But I'm thinking, y'all working, so it's not like he's a breadwinner. Some of the women make as much as more than the men do. But they talking about he's the head of the household. No, the little bitch is not. Depends on your income. He ain't the head of shit. He just, he might be running with you as the co-founder, the co-CEO or something, but he's not the head of nothing. They just have a really bad opinion of them, thinking that they're running something. I refer to my cousin's husband. They're just a great couple. Neither one of them is talking about submission and running shit or anything. They work together. That's why they have so much. Got a brand new, beautiful 4-bedroom home that they built. Got their 2 little sons is looking great. He got his nephew living with him that he brought from down south somewhere, so the boy could get a better education out here in California. They support him too. He helps his mother out. They doing stuff. They're doing big stuff, and they work like this, lockstep, both of them walking side by side together. You can't have one person lagging behind talking about she gonna submit to me. If you have a man who comes at you like that, understand that he's weak and he's an idiot, and he's about trying to control somebody because he's a weak idiot. Men of strength, alpha men, do not need to control anybody because they too busy controlling themselves and making shit happen. They don't have time to be worried about some woman kowtowing to them. They want a woman who can be a partner, who can hold her own, who's going to add something to his life. So you don't have to bring her along and worry about her and treat her like a kid, telling her everything what to do. That's how you know that you're dealing with somebody who's very weak. So when you meet a man like this that talks about that kind of stuff, you just call him out on his weakness, tell him he's a little punch bitch motherfucker, and you don't have time. And then just block him. Okay, that's what you should have done. I mean, it's good that you wrote because now you understand. But you're a young lady, you're gonna run into this a lot more, especially amongst black men in the South. They're gonna be talking that shit, and you need to understand what time it is when they do, and understand that that is a very weak man, and get rid of him. He's never gonna be the kind of dude that you can admire and look up to because he's too busy trying to put his foot on your neck so he can feel powerful. So somebody who feels innately powerful and confident about themselves does not need to put other people down to build themselves up. And that's what a man who demands submission is. He's just weak. And here's our final question of the day, and it looks long as hell. Why is this so long? Well, how do we do on time? Oh, not too bad considering, huh? Okay, male, 18 to 21. He's Latino from Miami, Florida. Hi, Deb. I found you on Twitch, and I need to get advice from someone mature that has children. I am only 17, and I hope you still choose my letter because I'll be 18 in late October. Oh, well, let's see what the content is. I usually don't like to do minors, only 18 and over. Anyway, I need suggestions for how to kindly tell a friend he is 18 to stop flirting with me without offending or hurting his feelings. I have an app called Blank, and it's basically like Tinder with the swiping, but it's not made for dating. I found him on there after he swiped on me, and we started talking more. He's a really nice guy and seems like he has his head on his shoulder, so we talked for a bit, and I noticed that he would flirt with me on the call we had. He would talk so fast but make it obvious the connotation of what he said. Like tonight, he asked what I was doing, to which I replied, I'm laying down to finish up my math homework. Then he says, with a high pace, can I lay up beside you? I asked him what he said, and he said it two more times. And it took me asking two more times for him to get it out of him, since he said it so fast that I wasn't sure what he said originally. I just laughed a bit nervously to try to make him feel better. Oh my God. What is wrong with you young people? You were supposed to shut his shit down right there. It's like you talking fast and you think I didn't hear you. I heard you when you said that bullshit. This is the last time I'm put up with that. Or just next him then, because that's disrespectful. I wasn't on there to try to hook up with nobody. And anyway, are you sure this clown is only 18? A lot of these people are like, because you still a minor for another 30 days or so. Some of these people are predators. Okay? They're older guys, and they portray themselves as being your same age, and they're really not. But let us proceed. I'm getting the willies about this. This don't sound right. And you don't have enough game or gumption to deal with somebody like this. I don't know if I explained to him that I've retired from dating, and even if I wasn't, then I wouldn't be interested. I just don't know what to say, so that way he won't be offended and he can keep helping me with my math. I offered to help with his essay, as his weakest subject is English, while I'm stronger in English, but he didn't want to do it tonight. I tried saying I wouldn't get into a career of flirting if I were you, as a response to one of his flirts as a sort of way of saying stop. I've always been very bad at math, and I really would like to keep receiving his help if possible. I'm willing to help him with English, so it's not like I'm using him. He also is long distance, as I'm in Florida and he's in Arizona. So even if everything was completely opposite, then there's no way of anything working out like that. I don't want to sound like I'm demonizing him, since he seems to be a good person, but at the same time, I feel uncomfortable, but I don't want to unfriend him. Okay, you feel uncomfortable, but you don't want to unfriend him, and you feel like he's helping you with your math, and so you have to put up with disrespect and being preyed on so he could help you with your math. Young man, block this person immediately. Okay, you could find somebody else. You could find a college student at your local college who could help you with your math. You would have to pay them, but it would be safer. It would be a business exchange. Okay, they'd help you with your math and probably do a better job because it'd be face to face. You can go to the library at the school and meet them. Go to the public library and meet them there. Go to Starbucks and meet them there. It's only for an hour. That's what I would suggest, because this situation right here, I'm just not feeling it. And I don't think that this guy is really 18, only 18. And I don't think that this person is on the app to be, helpful like what he's portraying himself to be. That's just his way to get into the lives, into the heads, and get to do some freaky shit with young men 17, 16 years old. Okay? I want you to block this person as soon as you hear this, for your own safety. And I want you to practice saying no and stop. Okay? You're going to be a young man. You cannot go through life being weak like this, trying to placate and please people. You have to have firm boundaries, and you have to stand up for yourself, and you have to get motherfuckers in check. So he, starts talking, do this fast talking to slide this. It's the same shit they do to women. They try to slide that innuendo in, and these little remarks and these little comments and shit like that. You got to say, hold up one goddamn minute. Don't you ever say no shit like that to me. If that's what you got on this app for, and you think that you contacted me for some funny shit, that it ain't that kind of party, Holmes. That's the kind of way that you need to talk to him, okay? But you're not, and you're worried about his feelings and shit. That's soft like a girl, okay? I know that you might find that insulting, but I don't care, because that's how you coming across. I don't want to hurt his feelings. Like his feelings are more important than yours. Fuck out of here. Anyway, that was my 30 letters, the most letters I've ever done on this entire show. It's finished. Oh my God. I can't believe it. And tonight's letters, these men that wrote in tonight just really pissed me off. I don't know. That part wasn't good. That wasn't good. So if you want to submit your question for this show for a coming week, you can look in the show description down below, and you'll see a submission link that says click this to get advice. You just click that and fill out the form, or you can log on to Debsterism.com, get advice. You'll see the drop down menu on the nav bar. It's the same form, it's just you get to it by a couple of different ways, but that's how you do it. Get free advice on this show. If your letter is selected by my lovely cousin Candace, it will appear in the show, and then you get your answer live on the air. Other than that, what do we got coming up? So on Friday, we have, oops, I'm sorry, that was the wrong thing. I'm supposed to be looking for the Dusty News Network. Here we go. We got the Dusty News Network show, which is actually this one. Yes, this one. God, I'm just messing up. Anyway, that's what the thumbnail looks like on the YouTube channel and on Twitch. And then on Sunday, we're having a special live stream. We're going to be talking about this study that came out, and of 52 married black men talking about why they think that black women are disproportionately single. I know most of you are probably thinking, who gives a shit what they think? But I know that's what you're thinking, but that's okay. I still want to talk about it because they have some interesting opinions, and some of them make you just want to drop kick them and the dummies that married them, but it'll still be a good conversation for us, okay? And finally, I guess that's it for the show for tonight. So send in your letters for the coming broadcast next week, and I will see you guys right here at 6 p.m. on Friday night. If you get a notice that it's moved to Saturday, understand that's because of my physical therapy. I had to move it again. It's killing me. But we'll see. It'll be the Friday or Saturday night, and then we have the show about the husbands and the survey on Sunday. So I'll see y'all then. Bye-bye.